Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to a cloudy, overcast Fairfield County Park here in Monroe, Washington, for the continuation of the Seattle Orcas Women's T20 Exhibition, day number 2, match number 2. This match between the Washington Waves and the Redmond Raptors. Brian Walters with you. We will go directly to Manala Patel in the middle with the captains and match officials for the toss.
It's toss time here for match number 4 at the Seattle Orcas Women's T20 Exhibition Series. To start, we'll introduce the dignitaries. I've got Sean Carey, CEO of Seattle Orcas, our volunteers Siddhi Pathak, and our 2 umpires Ramesh Raju Adapalli and Mohan Misala. We're all set for the coin toss. Let's give it a flip.
Heads. Tails.
It's tails.
We'll have a roll first.
Redmond Raptors. Anika Kalan, you've won the toss. You're going to have a bowl first. Why?
I think our bowling department is really strong, and just going off the momentum that we had last game, where we said that we would want to set a specific target and wouldn't want them to go above 120 runs. I think we're coming off that confidence, and we'll definitely like to continue that into this game.
How's the fatigue coming in from the game that you've just played?
I think it's helpful that we just came off of a high, because I think we're all really spirited to go back out there and just get another win.
And any changes to your playing 11?
Yeah, Ankita Swaminath goes out and Vaishnavi comes in.
Well done. Thank you so much. Best of luck. Geethika, not winning the toss yet again. Had you won, what would you have done and why?
We would have batted first again. I think the first 2 games we batted first. We saw improvement from our batting in the second game to the first, and that's what we're continuing to look for in this game as well.
Interesting day yesterday. You played 2, 1-1, lost 1. How does that affect the game today?
I think in terms of affecting the game today, the confidence we got from the first game, especially it being a close match, it really brought us together as a team. And the second game, it was lots of learnings. I think losses are okay in cricket because you learn from them a lot, and it gives us an opportunity to bounce back even stronger.
Absolutely does. Now, are there any changes to your side?
Yeah, we have Ira Mohindru going out and Jaivi Pathak coming in.
Thank you so much. Best of luck.
Thank you.
There you have it. The news out of the middle is the Raptors have won the toss. They will be having a bowl yet again.
There you have it. The Redmond Raptors winning the toss. Captain Anika Kalan deciding to bowl first under very, again, cloudy conditions. A good amount of wind in the air. It's a bowl first kind of day. The Orcas tournament will be featuring the Washington Waves, and you'll be looking for a fast start, probably mostly from the Cardoshi, who batted really well in her first innings or second innings that she played in the tournament yesterday. Yashaditi Teki is also good. Amar Parkar, do not forget about her. And of course, the professional from the Caribbean, Jazar Claxton, will also be expected to put some runs on the board. Geetika Kadala herself as captain will also want to do the same thing. And we come to the Redmond Raptors. I would imagine that you would see Anika Kalan behind the stumps. Will be asking for the experience of Achina Pereira and probably Jessica Willith-Gamoa, the match winner and player of the match from the first match this morning, to hold down the bowling. Also, you see a lot of excellent bowling, support bowling from Leka Shetty. And do not forget about Lasya Bandara, the young lady from the Houston area, along with Divya Saxena. So, all in all, a really good and exciting match in a tournament that is razor thin. Look at this. No difference between the teams in terms of points. Net run rate is all that separates the 2 teams, or the 3 teams, and that difference is no more than a single point, from a plus 0.22 to a minus 0.38 from 1 to 3. So it is a razor thin margin that separates these teams, as we say hello to Manala Patel.
Hello, Brian. How are you?
Oh, I'm fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And there were worse places to be than in Seattle the Seattle area. At what time is it? Local time, 4 p.m. on a Friday.
Very different conditions, isn't it? We've had overcast just roll in throughout that first game, and now it's quite heavy. I just wonder if we're going to see a bit more movement with the ball because of it as well. We saw a little bit of it earlier on. The other thing that we want to keep an eye on in the second game is the amount of turn that we might generate off the surface. The spinners were starting to get good reward off the surface in the first game.
When you talk about movement through the air, overcast cloudy conditions, you always think that the pace bowlers would love that. And you saw tremendous movement from Lekashetti when she bowled early this morning. Under these conditions, you would think that she could be a handful, and I already hear you asking Manala Patel for a slip fielder, even though you haven't actually said it yet.
Well, I just feel she's got the wind on her side. She is able to generate that movement away from the right-hander.
Lovely shot for no run. That is a really good shot, but good piece of work by Sahana Sivakumar at backward point. Talk more about that because she generated some movement this morning. Talk about the mindset between sort of knowing when to attack and have fielders in catching positions and knowing when to defend.
Well, at the beginning of the game, there's no question you have to attack. You've started the game, you're at 0 for 0 in the first innings. You want to make sure you pick up those wickets early, especially if you peg them back in the power play.
Up and over. That is a lovely shot by Nikardoshi. That is one of her favorite shots, and it gets her 4 runs.
And this is something that she's going to have to be careful about, like Ashetti. She does tend to pitch the ball a bit too full at times. This time, a little too full. And when you've got the likes of Nikardoshi coming in off of runs yesterday in good form, that's easy pickings. Leans into that beautifully as she goes up and over the infield for 4 runs. Now that shot, over pitched, yes, but you put a slip in there, you're just in 2 minds as to whether you're going to fish for it or not.
To further develop that specific thought that you just mentioned, as she switches now, bowls around the wickets, hammered away for 4 more. Oh my goodness. I like the opinion of the idea, and by the way, Jagan Namani has made a meal of that at deep backward point, sitting in the white couch. I think we might need to take a look at that again because, very frankly, this is something that Jaganamani really should have done better on, Manali.
Yeah, not so sure that's the position to get it. That's a bit of a London Bridge right there.
But to finish that thought, you want a slip fielder in position. You also want a length and a line that is going to induce catches behind the wicket. I don't mind the idea of going around the wicket to the right-hander, creating that angle. I think the length has been off in the last couple. So good comeback, couple of deliveries. Pull it to the leg side. A couple more runs here, probably. No, just 1. And I'll tell you what, they're off to a fast start. Nikardoshi seems to be picking up where she left off. And that is the end of over number 1. Here we see again here, Monale. Tell me what you see.
Well, first delivery over pitched. She knows she's got to make the adjustment here. Lekashetti, and she does do that, except this time it's too short. She drags that length down, and with the angle and the movement that she does generate, short, wide, easy pickings. We're not going to be talking about that fielding effort, but in a way it's good to see your bowlers making the adjustment, because had she gone over pitching again, that to me is a slight concern, because then you're thinking, okay, are you thinking about how to make those adjustments? The fact that she has, yes, an overcorrection, but it shows that she is thinking, and the analysis side of things is very important, especially for these young players coming through the system. You want to make sure that they're thinkers out there. The coach cannot do all the thinking for you.
Really well described. Jessica Willith-Gamoa, left arm around the wicket, coming fresh off of a player of the tournament, the player of the match from this morning. Looking to deliver here to Nikardoshi, who was off to a fast start, 9 from 6.
2 for 14 her figures in the first game today. She was exactly what her side needed. economical, brought in the dot ball pressure, and picked up 2 important wickets. She set the tone for her side in that first innings. And because of that pressure, she made sure that the Blazers weren't able to get away and put up a big score. Today, in this second game, when net run rate is an issue.
Up and over. Just a single here, though. Good piece of fielding on the boundary by Lassia Bandaru. Finish your thoughts.
When we know net run rate is going to be an issue with the 3 teams tied on points, she's going to play a very pivotal role. What I really want to see, though, is how the Raptors handle playing 2 back-to-back games. Mind you, I think the conditions are a little bit easier in the sense that it's cooler, the sun's not out, there's a bit of a breeze. Yesterday, when we saw the Waves had to play 2 back-to-back games in the hot sun, it really took a toll on them.
Well, it delivers into this innings Jazar Claxton will face for the first time. So a change in angle, of course, going over the wicket to the right hand, or make that to the left-hander. With the natural outswing for the left-handed bowler, I go back to the same question I asked earlier. Are you thinking that there should be slip field in position now for the first ball that she faced? Hammered away for 4. You cannot give any width to, first of all, any lefty, and then secondly, not an international level lefty like Jazar Claxton.
That's an excellent shot. It was a hit me ball as well. Short, wide, thank you very much. I will pick up a boundary off of that. In terms of a slip, I would definitely have one for Lekka Shetty. Not so sure that I'd want to have one for Jessica Willis-Magua. She just doesn't get the same sort of movement through the air that we see at the other end.
Clip just over the top of short mid wicket. Boy, it feels like Divya Saxena was in the game there for a minute, but it's consecutive 4s.
This is a top shot. This is really well played. On the leg stump line, she's waited on it, leaned into it, kept her head still through it as well, and placed it really well. That's class. That's experience on show.
That's wristy.
It is wristy.
Very, very elegant shot through the leg side. And again, another bit of expert batsmanship that goes away for the 3rd consecutive 4 to end over number 2. An expensive first one from Jessica Willis-Magua, 13 coming from it, 22 without loss.
Very good punch off the back foot. Yes, it was short, didn't have a lot of width, but the fact that she's waited for it to be able to punch it through the offside and hit the gap, it is a very good shot. That's the first
Hammered
one.
away for
Short,
4.
wide,
You
cut away.
cannot-
This the second. 2 straight.
Clip
Flicked
just
off pass
over the
for 4
top
more.
of short mid
And
wicket.
this,
Boy,
the
it feels
last
like
one,
Divya Saxena was in the
just
game
shot
there
to
for a
length.
minute.
Waits on it and punches it in the gap through the offside. 3 beautiful deliveries. Also shows how much of a 360 player she can be.
Fair to say that the first 2 of those 4s were, you could probably criticize. 1 too wide, 1 too straight. There was not a lot wrong with that 3rd ball, and she still rises on the top of her toes and gets 4 for it. Nikardoshi joins the hitting party. 4 more to backward square leg.
This is good. This is exactly the way you want to start and utilize your power play overs, and it's nice when you've got both batters being able to do that. Beautifully picked up. It's not that far down leg either. It is a straightish delivery. She's picked this up between middle stump and put it away onto the leg side.
I
Watched
will
it
say, if you're
all the way
going
onto
to-
the bat, and the key there was to be able to play it in front of her pads.
That's a much better delivery in terms of the line. From around the wicket, anything that is not slanting across and going toward the off stump and outside the off stump is trouble, because you're essentially in no danger of being dismissed. It's not good that if you get struck on the pad, it's not going to be LBW from that angle. And essentially, if you can get that shot away on the leg side, it will always provide runs for you. I like the line of these last couple of deliveries.
it's an adjustment that she's going to have to make. It's also going to be something that she'll have to watch out for because these two players are attacking. And if she does give that width, looking for that extra bit of swing, with the way they're hitting the ball at the moment, a good piece of connection through the offside, that's more boundaries.
That is banged away into the leg side, and it's going to be another boundary. We're dealing in fours here. That is the 7th with 3 deliveries. Make that 2 deliveries remaining in over number 3.
Good shot this. Again, not that short, not any width to work with. It's just a very good shot. Watched all the way, picked up well. This is where as a bowler you struggle. Because you're thinking, okay, hang on, I'm able to bowl some of my best deliveries and they're still able to put them away.
Banged into the leg side, but that's a good stop at short mid-wicket. I'll tell you what, Divya Saxeno's in the firing line there.
She saved a couple of runs for sure.
Oh, I think she saved 4 runs there. Fast outfield. If that gets by her, I'm thinking this is going to the boundary. Really well done by Divya Saxena. Very interesting. So there is movement now. Divya Saxena herself dropping back to deep mid-wicket on the boundary. And they're strengthening the leg side. They're now 4 on the leg side. Height. Divya Saxena is after it. She'll get there and she'll take the catch. How big a wicket is that? So, celebration, Lekka Shetty essentially gets what she wanted to. Good catch by Divya Saxena, 30 for 1.
Good catch, but have a look at the captaincy on that. Made the adjustment, dropped mid-wicket back, and then the bowler bowls a delivery for exactly that setup. Nick Ardoshi's played right into the plans here. Good catch in the end, but it's the execution of the plan that's gone so well. Poor on Nick Ardoshi to not have picked up the fact that there is a fielder in the deep now for that exact shot. That's going to be the first wicket down. The partnership's been broken, and the rate at which they're going might just take a bit of a dent now. 3 overs gone, 30 for 1.
It was not a secret that there was a fielder in the deep at mid-wicket. So if you're Nick Ardoshi, as you see on the replay here, this is a really good catch. Maybe she could have come in another step, but having maybe just being short of where she needed to be, still had the presence of mind to get those hands underneath it and secure the catch. If I'm Nick Ardoshi's coach, I want to say to her, after she cools down, you see that there's a deep mid-wicket in position, maybe this next one you tap down the ground. Or maybe you keep it on the ground.
This is where you as a coach don't say, you ask, what did you make of that shot? Did you realize what happened the ball before? Did you see the field change? How could you have played that better? Just a bit of coaching insight for you, Brian.
My coaching days are way behind me, and I would not have been as kind as you were just now.
Well, because remember, the idea is you want to make players who are thinkers. And so if you can get them to analyze and think about exactly what they could have done, lead them to the answer, don't give them the answer. It just makes them think about it more, but it also helps you understand what's going on in their mind. Jazara Claxton now will have to take that leadership role. She's 12 off 4.
I will say that cricket is a very cranial game. And that is slammed through the offside. That will get away to the deep extra cover boundary for 4. Well done, Mr. Sean Carey. Much better fielding. Much better fielding. That is an excellent piece of work by the CEO of the Seattle Orcas. But back to the point I was making. In fact, let's see Mr. Sean Carey again. This will give us a good look here. Manali, talk me through what you see here from the guy.
Well, it's redemption, first of all. Can't really say that's still the best position, but it's hands to the ball, into the hands. But that's a really good shot. A little bit over pitched.
Yep.
Had just the right amount of width to be able to slap it away.
Oh, lovely. Any amount of width will be punished. That is the way that Jazara Claxton bats.
Well, this is not working. The bowling plan is not working. Overpitched, a bit of width. This is two back-to-back shots that are very similar.
Well, the fuller one, the second ball of the over, was punched through extra cover. The shorter one was put away to deep backward point. Now a change in the field as you have Achina Pereira dropping back to deep point and a deep mid-wicket in position. I believe that is Ritu Singh out there. Let's see how different this becomes at this point. A good finish to the over, at least a good ball on the penultimate ball of the over. But Lassia Bandaro is going to have to be very careful here because they're still lost Nick Ardoshi, but a really fast start nonetheless so far.
She's gotten away with that. In fact, she got away with two deliveries. The one that was a dot the ball before and that one. Because they were in the slot to be able to drive them to the offside. 4 overs gone, 38 for 1.
So 38 for 1 after 4. Economy make that run rate 9.5. This projection will not hold up, but the projection currently says 190.
I was going to ask you about the win predictor.
The win predictor, it's a bit early. It's a bit early. Ritu Singh has been asked to work her magic. Right arm, off spin. Ball straight to mid-wicket. That is a really sharp catch by Kami Desai. What a catch. That was not an easy one. 38 for 2.
Well, it is often that you will get poor deliveries picking up wickets, and that's a pretty good example of that. Ritu Singh into the attack. It's not the delivery she'd like to bowl again. That was a short delivery that Isani Vaghela should have been able to put away. Instead, she's found the hands of Kami Desai. Short, going into the swinging arc as well. It's a good thing there's a bit of height with that girl, Kami Desai. Finishes the catch, picks up the second wicket. It's 38 for 2.
That is one that will look way better in the scoring book than it did on the field. Ritu Singh, her strength is bowling full and getting that amount of turn for the right-hander, get it to turn between bat and pad and trouble the stumps. This is one that she would not have been surprised had that been put away for 4. But fortuitous in the sense that she takes a wicket with the very first ball. Now, Amarpal Kaur, who is essentially going to be asked to partner with her fellow international player at the other end. Oh, in the air, simple as you like. Oh, Amarpal Kaur, what have you done? 38 for 3.
38 for 3 on a hat trick. This was a better delivery. This one I'll give her a lot of credit for, Ritu Singh. Golden arm at the moment for her side, the Raptors. They are a stronger bowling unit. They feel confident to win the toss every time, put themselves into bowl. Leading edge. Completely misjudged and a very well completed catch in the end. Didn't want to trust anyone else with that. She said, I can finish this job just fine on myself. I'm by myself. And that's a duck for Amarpal Kaur today. Well, we are on a hat trick. It's 38 for 3.
A bowler is not going to drop her own catch. That is essentially one of the golden rules in cricket. So, Jazara Claxton, 20 from 10, strike rate of 200, is watching a whole lot of negativity at the other end. And it is now going to be up to Taranum Chopra to essentially cut off a hat trick. And it almost is like the Sharks are circling in the water. Look at all those fielders close on the offside for the hat trick ball.
We haven't seen a hat trick yet in the series. I'm not sure the Waves want to be part of it.
No. Well, it's well played. I don't know that it's the best hat trick ball that I've ever seen delivered, but it's still a dot, so that does count for something. 3 deliveries into her first over, Ritu Singh, and has not yet conceded a run and has taken 2 wickets. Oh, this will be interesting. Fast start by the batting unit. Now the bowling unit is trying to come back. Oh, look at that. Extra bounce. Taranum Chopra maybe feebly playing at that one outside the line of off stump.
She does vary her pace well, Ritu Singh. That one's a little bit quicker as well. And that extra bit of bounce is something that the batters are going to have to keep an eye out for. There's that bounce that we're talking about. It's played really well in the end, getting well and truly on top of it. Just opening the face for a single.
It was a really fast start. But this over by Ritu Singh has turned the fortunes of this entire match in just 5 balls. And she's not done yet. She's a really, really skillful bowler. The off spinner to the left-hander now. Excellent, excellent over from Ritu Singh. That is the end of over number 5. The score is 39 for 3. Let's take a look at these couple wickets again from this last over. Ritu Singh immediately striking the first wicket you saw there, and then the second one. One played too late, the other played too early, both resulting in wickets, and a really, really good introduction into the bowling attack from the experienced all-rounder from St. Louis, at least from the St. Louis area. So now Taranum Chopra facing for the first time from the northern end, and I think that you will see every single opportunity here to essentially try to drive home the advantage that they've had. The Washington Waves have certainly lost momentum, and to the extent that you want to keep that momentum, how does Taranum Chopra handle things here, the last ball or the last over of the power play? As we say, good afternoon to Shil Majumdar.
Good afternoon, Brian. And just in a matter of an over, Lasya Bandaru finds herself in a completely different complexion as far as the game is concerned. She was carved out for a couple of boundaries last over, but this over, the confidence levels are in a completely different zone as far as the batting unit is concerned.
Very full on that occasion. So a really good start here with the ball. Lasya Bandaru yet again. Couple of good deliveries to start. So this is the last over of the power play. Taranum Chopra can be very, very difficult to dislodge once she gets going. And she's an excellent young batter. But Lasya Bandaru is no less a competitor. So this is a good matchup for me. But here's an interesting one. The right-handed off spinner to the left-handed batter. What are you expecting from this matchup?
Well, she would like to take it away because that's probably her only good chance to induce some sort of a mistake at this point. But Jazara Claxton, she's been, as you very rightly mentioned, has been a bit of a spectator for all the ordeal that's happening on the other side. It's interesting to see the way Lasya Bandaru kind of gets ready for the ball. She wants it to be fully dried up and fingers not having any sort of moisture, because she gives it a nice rip every time.
Down the track and over the top of extra cover. That is a good-looking shot for 4. What in the world is going on with the Seattle Orcas brass? I would just love to see a clean piece of fielding in that position outside of the boundary from the white couches.
Well, I don't know about where this tournament will eventually end. Well, that's a good sort of decisive footwork from the batter. She came to the pitch of the ball, negated the spin.
Now look at this.
And, well, that's the forgettable part of the entire coverage there. Seattle Orcas staff definitely needs some cricket coaching for themselves. At this point, they are full of butter jar rather than butter fingers. Really.
Oh my goodness. 5 runs coming from the over and another atrocious piece of fielding by the Seattle Orcas brass. End of the power play as we see here again, Mr. Jagannamaney. I am not sure exactly what that was supposed to be, but that is not what what the fans came to see.
I'm so grateful that's not a catch. He's a juggle at the end of a catch.
It takes some work to bobble that one. I will say this. In baseball, you call it $1 million stop and a 10-cent throw is what you call that. So, end of the power play, 44 for 3.
Juggle mnemonic.
I know we kid them, but my goodness, how important is it that the Seattle Orcas, to include Jagan Nemani and of course CEO Sean Carey, have created this platform for these young ladies to showcase their talent and really put themselves in a position to be seen with the idea of it being potentially bigger things down the road.
100%. There's no doubt about it. A whole lot of appreciation to the entire franchise when the whole major league system came through. This is what was expected, that when the season of MLC is not going to be in play, how will they come to the forefront to develop cricket in all aspects? And the fact that they're taking such a major step for women's cricket and showcasing this such a large talent pool of 15-year-olds and 16-year-olds is a massive, massive step forward, really.
Very much so. So you're out of the power play. You can have as many as 5 fielders outside the circle. Deep point, that's Divya Saxena. Long off and long on, and then deep mid-wicket. So you have 4 outside, 5 inside. That is slashed away. A lot of work for Divya Saxena, and she tries the football skills, doesn't quite pull it off, and that is 4 more.
What was that?
That was a slightly pedestrian fielding attempt on the boundary. You would expect a little more commitment there. Certainly not putting your feet in the line. One, that is not a very safe way to do that. Second, she was already very late. The ball was past the boundary line by the time she was there.
Oh, you mentioned that that's not a safe way to do that. You are currently commentating with someone who broke his ankle in that exact method.
Really?
Oh, it gets through. Just thought for a second that it could have been a bye, but doesn't get it far away enough. Yes, I've broken my ankle trying to do that. And so every time I see a player do that, I cringe for that specific reason. That's a great piece of bowling, by the way. How did that miss the off stump?
That is indeed an exceptional ball there.
So, Brian, what you're saying is you're bad at 2 sports, soccer and cricket?
7.35 the run rate here, Sheila Majumdar, and I don't know, I'm hearing another noise coming from somewhere. I'm not sure exactly where it's coming from. But
well, this run rate was upwards of 10 just in about a couple of overs back. So it's again the matter of consolidation now after that flurry of wickets.
Consolidation is what it is indeed. That is the end of over number 7, the single that came up on the 5th ball of that over, bringing up the 50. So another 13 overs to go, 15 for 3. Make that 50 for 3.
What would be the projected score for you? What would be the par that you would be hoping from here, now that we have seen about 3-4 games here? Well,
the projected score, just based on the math, is 143. If if you ask me what I think is going to be the score, I'll give you a very political answer. It completely depends on how long Jazar Claxton is able to bat. Because she seems to get one or two deliveries every over that she faces that she can punish. And if she's able to continue doing that, then she can be somewhere around 55, 60, and that puts her team in good stead to be able to put together a decent partnership. If you get rid of her, then it's a different game altogether. Good couple of deliveries here to start over number 8 by Lassia Bandaro.
Well, we are looking two different halves of this match. There was 2 hours back, there was a different game. And now all of a sudden it's a very different game. The spinners have found confidence. But
That's true. That is a really good shot, and that is what I said about every over that Jazar Claxton faces. She'll play the good ones with respect, but give her the slightest amount of width, and she does that.
Now take a look at this shot. This is a beautiful exhibition of footwork from Jazara Claxton. She spotted the ball well, shifted a weight to the back foot, and then that's a square drive which sort of bisected the two fielders for an impeccable shot there.
Impeccable is the right word. That's just played down the ground for a single. It takes really, really good skill to just go back, transfer your weight to the back foot, as you mentioned, and there's a fielder at backward point and a fielder at sort of squarish gully. To get it in between those two fielders, find the gap, and get 4 runs to deep backward point is really, really expertly done.
Her head position is so good. That's why she's been able to get the shots in the front as well, where she's hoping for. That's not very clean with her middling the ball.
Well, you don't mind conceding a single down the ground, but my goodness, Tarnum Chopra, who is taking a bit of time to get started, 4 from 10, Jazar Claxton now 34 from 21. That's why I said it's going to be down to Jazar Claxton. Ooh, swept away around the leg side. Let's see if there was any tickle on this. It's going to run away close to the boundary. And in fact, it just stops short. So they'll run 2. But watch the umpire here. It is wide. So that is 3 bonus runs that will not make the bowling unit feel any better about things. Certainly down the leg side. It was difficult for the keeper to be able to collect. And you have Jazar Claxton back on strike. Tries that favorite scoring area again, comes up empty this time. But another productive over, 9 runs coming from it. End of over number 8. The score is 59 for 3. So you asked about what the first inning score is going to be. I think there is going to be a fight back from the bowling units. I think you will spend a couple of overs from Ritu Singh. She still has 2 more remaining, as we see the emergence of fielders out there at deep point.
Well, we've had 130, 129. That's the highest score so far since yesterday. We had a couple of 120s, and this morning we had seen 113, 112, that kind of score.
First delivery there from Ritu Singh. I think she might feel like the result was not equivalent to the type of delivery. It's a dot ball that really could have been punished by Taranum Chopra.
So I'm going for that 120, 125 range again. But it all depends upon, as you very rightly said, Jazara Claxton. If she's around, that total, otherwise, even that total might seem to be a bit of a tall out of them.
Did we miss a free hit? That is a no ball, I would imagine, because I think I just saw umpire Ramesh Rajwa de Pale signal a free hit. I want to double check on that. Don't know if... Yep, it's signaled as a no ball.
Yep.
Now, was it the fact that she hit the stumps with her hand on her delivery? I think that's what happened. Of course, there's several different no balls. We can go through them in a minute, but this is a free hit. In the air, it's going to be taken. Of course, it's a free hit, so there's no dismissal, and they'll get a single. Don't know if we can take a look at that again, because I believe that what happened was when Ritu Singh released or delivered the ball, she knocked at the stumps at the non-striker's end. If you do that, that is a no ball. Don't know if we have time to go back and look at that. There we go. Look at, oh, on her follow through with her foot. So not with her hand, but the foot kicked at the stumps. She gets very close to the stumps on her delivery, and that's what happened there.
It would be interesting to know if that induced her to change the angle and come round the wicket, because she may have got a little bit of a warning from the umpire of stepping out of the danger area there while doing that.
Short. Cuts away to Divya Saxena at the point. Well, it'll be interesting to see exactly how the rest of this innings develops. Ritu Singh has 1 over left after these next couple of balls, so you have to be judicious as to where you use her. Jessica Walath-Gamua still has 3. Lakasheti has 2. That's a really well played ball down to deep backward point, in fact deep third, and they'll get another couple.
She's really bowled well, Ritu. She's come and changed the whole momentum of the game. It was in a very different zone. 3 overs of absolute defining bowling here. 2 for 10. Thinking cricketer, Ritu. She puts in a lot of thought in her cricket.
It's a great delivery. Good length. Well played too by Taranam Chopra. It's going to be the captain herself, Anika Kolan, who has to flag that one down and cannot prevent a couple of runs. So 7 runs come from over number 9. It's a good one. 66 for 3 after 9. Current projected score after 9 overs, 147. You mentioned 129 is the highest score so far in the tournament. 147 would be a tremendous improvement on that. And it feels like it's a moment where you want to make something happen. So you've gone to an international player here to bowl over number 10, Achina Pereira. Look at that celebration. Say hello to everyone who is in the fan area. Good afternoon, ladies. And I will tell you that if you are anywhere within range of Monroe, Washington, please feel free to come watch some absolutely brilliant cricket. These young ladies are all very good at what they do, and this is just a really good initiative from the Seattle Orcas. Seattle Orcas meaning or wanting to make sure that everyone knows that there is a platform to be had, and these women really are able to produce in the way that you'd want for them to put that highlight on the field. Going to over number 10 here as you tap this one into the leg side. Jazar Claxton, how much depends on her? 36 from 25. That was an international to international matchup. Achina Pereira from Canada, Jazar Claxton playing for the West Indies.
This is a good context because Achini Pereira, during the break, just before the game, spent a lot of time with her coach trying to understand the fielding angles.
Full toss, and it gets hammered away. Oh, palmed over the crossbar for 6. Watch the umpire here at square leg. No ball signaled. She might consider herself lucky here, Achina Pereira, because that very easily could have been considered a full toss. She danced down the track. That's the difference.
Oh, still, I think while she would have danced out,
Sheena Pereira just wants this ball to be on the right line and the right length. Oh, bit of a leading edge that time. Can't get anything away on that, but that's a good looking shot for 6. Taranum Chopra plays that shot very well. And the fielder down on the boundary. You think what was in the game for a minute, but just going over her head. And I said she palmed it over the crossbar, which is essentially what happened. Got both hands to it, but not quite able to hold on. So a couple of dots after that 6, though, so she's doing a lot better here. And as I say that, that ball is outside the line of off stump, but just thankfully, at least from the Washington or from the Redmond Raptors' opinion, just inside the line, so not considered to be an extra, not considered to be a wide. Last ball of over number 10. Tell you what, there was a very loose delivery on the second ball that got put away for 6, but only 8 runs coming from the over. So a good contest overall. Halfway through the innings, 74 for 3. This partnership underway is now the the largest of the innings. It's worth 36. The players will take a water break, as will we. 10 more overs coming up. Where will the Washington Waves end up? That question to be answered in a few minutes.
Back into the action. Back into the action. Hydrated, halfway point, 74 runs on the cards, and they've stabilized the ship after losing 3 early wickets. Jazara Claxton is still out there, and that is a big bonus for the Waves. Tarnam Chopra, 15 off 20. She's more than capable of changing that strike rate. But a good partnership starting to form between these two.
Absolutely. And Jazara Claxton, she is also climbing up the most runs leaderboard for this particular competition. She's at number 3 at this point, as Vaishnavi Mangeshkar is introduced into the attack.
I think this might be the highest score that we've seen in the first 10 overs of all the games that we've seen so far.
And you are absolutely correct. We have seen a few 70s, but this by far is the highest one.
And with another 10 overs to go, if they continue, wickets in hand, they could be staring at over 140. Sloppy. Slight fumble will allow for a single.
Vaishnavi Mangeshkar is just 14. She is the second sort of youngest talent in this particular competition. By the looks of it, she's got a fairly high energy action. She's got a good leap at the crease. It'll be interesting to see how she kind of goes about with her bowling.
It is one of the things that amazes me about this tournament, the fact that there are so many 15-year-olds. And 15-year-olds with decent standards.
Indeed. At 14, I was barely able to write my entire name. So to see these girls come up so confidently and come up and demonstrate their confidence, their competence is incredible to see. And that probably is the biggest sort of takeaway from this tournament. Of course, we sometimes on the sideline start looking at it being a little overcritical, but
Up and over. And just pulled back.
yeah.
Right before the line, a slight fumble. I was going to say I'm very impressed with you. If you couldn't write your name by the time you're 14, you've done really well.
Indeed, yes.
Turn
Right.
things around.
I tell that to myself. Yeah, you did well. You did okay. You can write your name.
They do say self-talk is very important, actually,
Yes, of course.
especially in sports.
It's very different times, and the risk of dating myself or aging myself. There's a very different times we're living. The youth is so empowered. They have so much to reference themselves at. It's just so great to see so many different levels, professionals, not just cricketers, but in every aspect of life. The youngsters are so much more confident than what it was during my time.
Leading edge, safe in the end, and a dot to end the over. 11 overs gone, 78 for 3.
So coming back to this one, how do you think, what's your take? I mean, what would be a good total from here on, as the Waves are looking at so many different aspects, the points table, and making sure that they come back tomorrow with some confidence? What's a good score?
I mean, we haven't seen too many big scores. They've all been around that 120 mark. That being said, you've got the Raptors who've been able to pick up their first game today, and we've seen a good sort of turnaround in their batting lineup, because yesterday was a real struggle with the bat. The only concern that I have from the batting perspective for the Raptors today, when they chase the total, might be the exhaustion level, because it is back-to-back games.
How much do you think is the absence of Kiana Joseph is going to impact them? Because she's been kind of a catalyst in the top, giving that 20, 25, 30 runs kind of a impetus in the last two games.
I don't actually think that's going to have a very big impact, if I'm being completely honest. And the reason why I say that is they do have some decent batting in the lineup.
Right.
The only thing key, though, is making sure that they get their partnerships in, which is what they did very well this morning.
Exactly.
But that being said, as much as we expect players to perform in every game, it rarely happens. I mean, you'd be lucky if you can perform once every 5 or 6 games.
Exactly. Now, the seniors put their hand up today and made sure that they won a game. They remained alive on the points table.
Cutaway. in the gap, and that's going to be 4. Too much width. Achini Pereira has continued to struggle with her line and length.
She spent a lot of time with the coach Rishi just at the end of their warm-up session, working out the angles. Now look at that. That's flighted, absolute hit me ball. Very little spin on that one. She was trying to give it a little bit of a leg break there, but it was short of length. And the bounce kind of set it up nicely in that zone where the batter could just play it.
Have a look at where she finishes. That is very straight. That's in the danger area. And not to forget, if she's blocking the umpire and there's an LBW shout, the umpire is going to say, I cannot see anything.
Well, the width that she's bowling, LBW is well out of question at this point. But you're absolutely right. I mean, you are absolutely, being in front of the umpire doesn't help them as a bowler. She's using her body quite a bit to get that turn, and that's kind of bringing her in front of the stumps.
Yeah, she struggled to land the ball. She struggled to pitch the ball.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't always a leg spinner, though, either. I mean, she started as a pace bowler, then went to off spin, and now she's bowling leg spin. And we know leg spin can take years to develop.
It is one of the hardest, and that's what gladdens me, that so many younger players here are embracing that craft.
That's a full toss. And she's missed out. 1 bounce to Cami Desai in the deep. End of the over as well. 12 gone. It's 86 for 3.
Just before this game, I saw you having a chat with Cami Desai, reminding her of the catch that she dropped. This ball was in the air, and for a second I thought, if this is a catch, that conversation will be fresh on her mind, that she would not want to let you down there again. More so, let herself down, and she would probably want to hold on to that one.
But the thing is, she's a very safe pair of hands. She's actually a keeper.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So the catch that went down yesterday was a bit of a shocker, I'm assuming, for her and myself, because she genuinely has very good hands.
Mm.
You find her behind the stumps more often than you find her in the outfield. And she's played high-level cricket in India for years. She's been part of the setup in Gujarat before she moved to Canada. It's a really teasing pace that Vaishnavi is bowling. It's not quick, it's not too slow, and then it just sort of floats up in the air but dips on you when you really want to be able to hit it.
All of these youngsters, they will grow fitter, they will go stronger, their crafts will sharpen. But good to see the action that she's got. I like the way she's got a bit of the high arm action, and she's got a good leap. It's good to see a aspiring fast bowler to have a leap, etc. It gets a lot of energy behind that ball.
Squeeze through for a single. Might not seem like they're going at a decent rate, but they are 7 runs and over.
Yes.
They've been able to milk the singles and doubles well, put away the bad balls.
7 is a good rate, Manali. I mean, with the way the tournament has worked up so far, 7 means we're looking at 140 kind of a total.
Down the track. This is really well played. Make that yet another boundary. Footwork excellent.
Very decisive. Came down to the pitch of the ball and just lobbed it intentionally in the air.
And this is one of the reasons why I'm saying tedious pace and length, I suppose, but she's predictable now.
Yes.
They know that this is her stock delivery. This is what we can expect. Makes it a little bit easier for you to say, okay, hang on, I can use my feet down to this. Full toss. Doesn't time it as well as she should have. They will pick up 2 runs. And I just want to see if this might be... No. Yes. No, it's not going to be called a no ball.
She had come down the wicket to make it a little more fuller for her. Probably if she would have stood in the wicket and the crease, it would have dipped a little more. But yes, Vaishnavi is trying to push herself a little more to get that pace.
She's done well to get back on that. Just a little nervous there for a second. She's backed up quite a bit. It's a straight delivery. But I like the fact that they're looking to use the crease and find those scoring opportunities.
Yes. Speaking with Ira Mohendru's family yesterday, and they used a word called momentarily overwhelmed.
Pulled away.
Lovely shot.
There is absolutely no fielder there. This is picked up really well. Now we just need to get confirmation. There it is. It is going all the way for 6. Again, using the crease, getting nice and inside the line of the ball to be able to open up that leg side.
And this is where pace will matter, Monali. At times when we can get a little bit of pace, you will not give the batter so much time to adjust the footwork. You will have to probably be, you will be beaten by pace. But that will happen, that will come. And young Vaishnavi will develop that pace. After 13, we're 99 for 3.
Yeah, just not quick enough yet, as you
Yes.
mentioned. And it will come with time. It will come with strength. But at the moment, the other side of it is if she had that extra bit of pace, it also makes it a lot easier to hit the ball. Just makes it easier to be able to get bat on ball.
Just
Oh,
use the
what is
pace.
happening there? Well, we'll see if we can try and get a shot at that. But Barbara has gone for a bicycle ride.
It's a pleasant climate, much pleasant than yesterday. So everyone's trying to enjoy this little breeze and overcast conditions.
Oh, this is poor. This is very poor. Great awareness from Tarnum Chopra. She realized that it was fumbled. Now, that's how you work on, he's on the phone, I believe. He's working and getting his exercise in. That's how it's done.
And enjoying the climate as well. So it's like all in one. Just having a nice evening cycling ride, getting this exercise in, making sure the work is not unintended. How can we do that?
Well, actually, he and I walked quite a few laps in between the 2 games this afternoon. It was quite a nice walk.
I wish we could do the commentary with the cycling or some sort of other exercise rather than sitting out here. Lasya Bandaru, it's our 4th over now, 22 without loss. Just to complete that little nugget of information, we were speaking with the family of Ira Mohendru yesterday. She's another 14-year-old, and they used the term, oh,
That's gone. Looking to come down the track. It was a big slash and a good catch in the end because this flew. The partnership has been broken. It is going to be Tarnum Chopra who's got to walk back 31 of 31 deliveries for her today.
a wicket coming at the right time. Flied, slashed, ball taking the outside edge, and an easy catch there in the square of the wicket in the offside.
Just played down the wrong line, didn't she? She wasn't expecting as much width. It is 100 for 4.
It's probably a slight turn when she came down to the pitch of the ball. That might have just taken the edge. The batter would have thought she would probably just lob it over the front, over the sort of mid-off, but took that little edge and it turned into a slash towards that fielder. But all in all, it was Lasya's wicket. She deceived the batter to get that wicket, so all credits to her there.
How often does it rain here?
Well, it's Seattle. It's a rain capital of United States. That's what
Is
people
it?
say. Yeah.
So we've lucked out the last few days.
This probably is a season where The rains tend to be a little less, but come the fall season, they'll start again.
She's off the mark. The skipper, Gitika Kodali. So we've just got to get through 2 more days of no rain here.
And we will. So I looked at the forecast, and it does look a little.
Well, you sounded so confident for a second. I thought you said, I've had a chat with the people above.
No. The forecast usually kind of holds on.
Okay.
And I don't see the rains coming up in the horizons the next few days at least.
14 overs gone, 102 for 4. But it is supposed to get quite nippy tomorrow.
Quite nippy would be probably another 5 to 7 degrees Fahrenheit less, which is about 2 to 3 degrees centigrade maybe.
Right, but with the wind.
Yes. I mean, it is a bit cooler. It's supposed to be 83 today.
Well, you know, this is the life.
Yeah, some
At
people
cricket,
have all the life. Look at that.
chilling on the phone, having a snack. How come we don't get snacks here?
Yeah, because it gets taken on the way by people who are just on the screen.
I see someone walking over with, what is that, nachos? We'll try and get this. I don't know if we can get the Comcam on, but look at this. I mean, hello. Do you want this back?
I have to give it to someone.
No, you don't. You've just given it to someone.
Well, that's a lot of eating.
That's.
We can just
I think
switch
we
the
can split it
commentary.
here. Yeah. She looks very worried. No, thank you.
Perfect, perfect.
Okay. Is it? Can we yell at you if we don't get any?
You can guess if it's right there.
Get your snacks.
So that's apparently where we have to go for snacks. Okay, I think that's where I'm going as soon as I'm done this stint.
Yes.
I don't know about you. You've got to work.
Oh, wait, I'm on next. Am I not? Wait.
Through the offside. She does favor that area very much so, Jazara Claxton. She drives the ball really well.
Yep. So the viewers, if you suddenly go into a zone of no commentary, you can understand where the commentators would be. There's a lot of interesting attractions from the snack box a few feet away from us.
You know what? Sadly, I've eaten all day today and yesterday. Just gets it past the bowler. And I like this. Hunting in packs in the field.
Geetika Kodali is in, and she has a job to do more so than anything. Stay there with Jazara Claxton. And like you mentioned yesterday, it's not about holding one end. Both the batters have to go for it, but they would have to take calculated risks and continue the momentum. They have a considerable amount of momentum at this point. 7.26 is no less. That would take them to close to 150 if they can hold on that one.
Teasing. Very teasing delivery. Jazara's not going to fall for. She's on 47.
You've seen a few 50s already this competition.
Big flashing shot. Straight to Divya Saxena. We'll bring it to 48. Now this is where when you got partnerships going, if you have a new batter coming in, it gives them some time. Even if it's a few deliveries in between. Geetika Kodali not under so much pressure to have a go from ball one because there is time. Up and over. And that is an absolute mess on the field. It's not every day you see Ritu Singh making a mistake of that nature, but it is going to go past her to the boundary for 4.
The younger bowler would be disappointed, and she would expect a little more of ownership and commitment from the senior colleagues. That was a bit of a bounce, maybe a bit of a variable bounce, but you would want the fielder to be in control of that. She was probably a feet in from the boundary line.
Angling in. I think this would have been going down leg. Oh my gosh, we've got snacks. Samosas. I could go for a samosa. Thank you so much. The other girl yelled at us when we asked her if we can keep it. So this.
It is right now. There's a loud shout.
Yes or no? Or you all want to keep going?
Just angling in. Gets a bit of seam movement as well off the surface. I think height might have been a concern as well. 15 overs gone. It's 109 for 4. That's more runs. Cut away, put away for 4. And that is also going to bring up the half century for Jazara Claxton. It's been an outstanding innings from her. 52 off just 40 deliveries. Appreciated by the coach and her teammates as well, and rightly so. She's led from the top today with the bat, and she knows the job is not done yet.
She's looked the part, hasn't she? 52 from 40, so a very healthy strike rate. Now batting with her captain, Geeta Kakadale, 6 from 4. The job is not done yet, but 1-13 puts you in a really good place to launch an attack.
Quick single. Good awareness as well from Geeta Kakadale there.
How does Geeta Kakadale play this is going to be my question. I think you've seen the fact that the international player has some runs under her belt, but Geeta Kakadale will not take a back seat to her, and she's a very good batter in her own right.
Oh, she's missed out there. She has absolutely missed out there. It was short, not as wide as she would have liked, but that should have been something that she could have potentially picked up. It's just that it's a slightly nagging pace, like I've said before. Expecting the ball to come on a little bit faster. It doesn't quite get there. And there again.
Well, you know me, I always talk about the fact that the left-handed pace bowler needs to be over the wicket to the right-handed batters. But Jessica Willith-Gamoa is landing the ball in the right areas, just on the fourth stump line and just out of driving length. She is going to have to maintain that length and line, but it's working for her so far.
That'll do. That'll do nicely. In fact, that's going to bring up another boundary.
I will tell you what. We talked about the fact that Geeta Kakadale is very well built, 5'10" or so. You expect for her to be banging the ball down the ground. I would not have expected a scoop shot down to deep third for 4. That is very innovative and excellent. Her team needs more of this.
2 deliveries, she's swung and missed. This time she says, hang on, let me just use the direction where the ball's already going. Get a bit of bat on there. There isn't anyone in the deep there either. So massive gap to be able to put that away. Jessica says, hang on, I think I know where you're going again. I'm going to come and re-bowl this one.
Interesting, because she got into position that time, Geeta Kakadale, looking to scoop it again, and Jessica said, no, you're not doing that.
Oh, misses out this time. I love this contest between the two. It is going to be a dot to end the over, though. 16 gone, 118 for 4.
Okay. Let's fully stipulate, as you see the replay on this, she tried the scoop shot once again. I will fully stipulate that this might be an old guy talking to you, Manali. That ball was on a length and a line that she could have played a conventional shot and gotten it away through the offside. For runs, likely. But she was so committed to trying to exploit that area behind deep third that she ended up missing out on a scoring opportunity, I think. So, look, I'm way past the point where the old guy shaking a cane at the sky is going to say stop the scoop shots and the switch hits. But that last ball was a ball that I think could have been scored off of.
Well, I was with you until you said but, and then I lost you.
We have some more fans in the area. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you are within reach of Monroe, Washington, please, there is absolutely no cost to attend these matches. Come watch some high-level cricket.
Starts wayward. Well down leg is going to be a wide.
Lekachetti, 1 from 17, now 1 from 18 with that wide down the leg side. She'll want to get that line outside of off, but she knows that she can't be too wide outside of off because Jazara Claxton has shown the ability to score heavily through the offside. Tell you what, low full toss is what it ended up being, and that's good enough.
Important overs these. Last 4 overs to go.
There's that low full toss again. A little bit of movement, too, through the air. That's not easy to do with an old ball.
Punched through the offside.
Oof.
I want to see how close this might have been if it was a direct hit.
If this is a direct hit, I think Divya Saxena has a dismissal. I believe that this would have been short. I want to take a look at this again, but that looks like she was just short, Jazara Claxton.
She's batted well today, though, hasn't she?
Oh, my goodness, yes.
Absolute class today.
Just what the doctor ordered, or more specifically, just what the Washington Waves ordered.
Dragged down the ground. Again, just too early through the shot.
At this stage of the innings, you want to take chances. Maybe not suicidal chances, but you want to put the pressure on the side in the field. I don't know that I want to run quick singles on the infield, though, particularly with Jazara Claxton batting the way that she is.
Manages to get some bat on that. Very wide and full.
Credit to Lekachetti. She's bowled very well. And again, you saw her swinging the new ball, but now she's finding some movement with the old ball as well. So you're down now to the last 20 balls of this innings. 122 already on the board, Manala. This is a really, really good platform. It feels like the 140 that we were talking about earlier is still on the cards.
And that is somewhat of a concern if you are a Raptors fan, because
Correct.
that batting lineup hasn't really looked solid enough. Despite the win earlier today, you just feel like there are some holes in the batting lineup.
And the biggest hole in the batting lineup is at the top because Kiana Joseph is not playing in this match.
But
Missed her
just
run-up a
cannot
couple
get her run up.
times. No.
She's out of rhythm at the moment. She's going to try that for a third time.
Third time's the charm coming
I was
up.
just going to say that.
Is that a Canadian expression or?
I think it's an English expression.
Is that a
And I don't mean
Canadian
like British. I just mean
like
the English language.
English, got it. Well, if you're going
Across
to
the
bowl,
right-hander.
if you're going to bowl around the wicket, that's where the line that you want. Earlier we saw where that delivery from around the wicket was too straight at the pads. Those are easily put away, particularly if they're at a length that allows the batter to get underneath it. But this is where you want it, well outside the line. And then you're now moving fielder deep third. That is Sahana Shivakumar wider. I think that is a good move. And really good bowling here from Lekachetti.
End of the 17th, 122 for 4. I think what I'd like to see from Geetika Kodali at the moment is she's got to get Jazara Claxton on strike. She's struggling to get the ball off the square at the moment. Just try and find a single. Get the batter on strike, the one who's set, the one who's got a half century. And the other issue that I'm finding at the moment for her is she's not timing it because she's just a bit too early on everything. She's got to wait a little bit for that ball to come closer to her.
Do you think the cure to that is reverse scoops and switch hits?
I mean, runs are runs, and that is the T20 game.
My old guy
But it-
bias is showing again, Manali.
But it also works though, doesn't it? Because she wants to get to the ball quicker.
Mm-hmm.
When you're playing shots like that, you have to react faster.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be able to get into the position early to be able to play those shots.
Oh, money time here. You are rolling the dice and giving the last over for Ritu Singh, trying to get your champion off spinner to get the big international player out. This is a matchup, a really important matchup.
I like this because she is bowling to the left-hander. The ball's going away from
Mm-hmm.
the left-hander.
Interesting that she's coming down the track trying to hit Ritu Singh out of the park.
I mean, we are in the 18th over. Isn't that what you do in the 18th over?
Oh!
That is a shot. That is some power on a switch hit.
On a switch hit, she played that like a right-hander playing a pull shot. That was spectacular. Look how quickly she gets into position here. This is off the middle of the bat. Smoked it. Fielder standing at short, really effectively short point, but effectively it was almost like a square leg given the switch hit. Not able to hold on to it, even though she did get her hands to it. Amazing shot.
Right. This is going to be an interesting delivery because, as I've said, Geethika Kadali needs to get her back on strike because she can do that.
Look at that replay.
Absolutely smashed. Gets a hand to it, Achni Pereira, but it was hit with such power. Didn't give her much time to react at all. What? There's another switch hit. And she gets it very straight as well. Just missing the timing of Jazara Claxton.
The timing was not there. She did access the area of the field that she's looking to access. Look at this. Reverse sweep. Bounces a little bit on her, so she gets more of a top edge than the middle of the bat. But the area of the field that she's trying to access is that area behind the keeper. So it does work out for a couple more runs.
Goes again. Better connection this time. Still not right out of the middle. It's 2 more runs. Potentially a third if there were batters were paying a little bit more of an attention to where the ball was going there.
That would be suicidal. That would be suicidal. Look at this. Manali Patel, you're already at 131. The highest score in the tournament so far, and you still have another 13 balls to come.
There is a fielder, and it'll be cut off for a single. And for the Raptors, they won't mind this single whatsoever because it is going to keep Geethika Kadali on strike. 18 overs gone, 132 for 4.
Happy hour, these last 2 overs. Look out for big hits, look out for switch hits. What are you bowling resources? Leka Shetty still has 1 left, and she will be the one who bowls over number 19. The question for me is who bowls 20? I would have to think that it would be Jessica Willett-Gamua. But both of these batters are going to have full license. They will be going after everything. It feels to me like 145, 150 is actually on the cards. If this pair bats through the innings, 150 is on the cards.
In the block hole. Well bowled.
It's a
Good
great piece of
delivery to
bowling.
start.
Great piece of bowling. That's a very simple game, what you want to do at the death. Full and straight, and do not allow the batter to get underneath the deliveries. That's exactly what you want. Now, you do have the problem with the batter who is now on strike with 60 runs against her name from 47 deliveries. And she will have violence on her mind here, you can bet.
Jeez, that's a bit.
Okay, that might have been strong. That was a little
That is
strong.
a bit violent there.
She will have quick scoring on her mind. Is that better?
Sixes, fours, you know. This is well bowled again. Good line, good length, not much room.
Margins for error is so thin. There's not much room or much difference between that delivery and the one that's about a half a stump's width wider that gets crashed through point for 4.
Too much room. Gave herself way too much room this time, and she moved too early.
Okay, forget what I just said about 150. Because that doesn't seem like it's about to happen.
Oh, I mean, there's a lot of time for that. I think she still can get them to 150.
Well, give credit to the bowlers. In this case, Lekashetti. You're bowling the last over that you're bowling and just 1 run from the first 3. Make that 2 from the first 4.
Just the single. What a tidy over for the 19th.
Oh my goodness, yes. This is high class. This is definitely high class from Lekashetti. Divya Saxena, who feels very well, and as I call her name, she's running back now on to the deep mid-wicket boundary. Oh, this is good stuff. I cannot think of a better last over to be bowled, meaning her last over from Lekashetti. This is just absolutely brilliant. 1 ball remaining in her spell, only conceded 2 runs in this over, the penultimate over of the innings. Really good stuff.
Come down the track. Take her on. Not quite what I asked her to do. But she will pick up a couple of runs. 2 coming off the last delivery. Excellent over and an excellent spell from Lekashetti. 19 overs gone. It's 136 for 4. What they'll be planning. He's pondering on life at the moment.
He is. He's trying to figure where his next hike is going to be, Barbara.
He's actually trying to change his flight because of that.
So he can go hike?
He absolutely wants to
The
go
one
hiking
thing that
here.
I will never ever do is change my flight because I want to go walking somewhere. Last over, Jessica Willis-Gamore.
Oh, she has Boulder. What an unfortunate way to get out. Jazara Claxton, 61 off 50, and she's chopped it onto her stumps off her foot.
Off of her foot. Full credit to the bowling unit, in this case, Jessica Willis-Gamore. Look how full this ball is. What you're trying to do here is not allow the batter to get underneath these balls. And look how full this is. It's actually landing, missed the bat off of the foot and trickles back onto the stumps. Even if that had not gone onto the stumps, it would have been an excellent delivery. The fact that it sends back the batter with 60 runs against her name is a bonus. 136 for 5. Excellent stuff.
It's the sort of Yorker you want to bowl, isn't it? Following the batter.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Sanvi in at a time where they need to find some runs. Yes, it's the highest total we've seen so far, but I feel like they're well short of where they could have ended up. This, the dismissal. Looking to get that leg out of the way.
Yes.
She was actually trying not to play soccer.
Well,
She's just a little late. Very well bowled. Full Yorker this time.
you said trying to not play soccer. Another synonym for Yorkers are toe crushers. That's why you try to get that foot out of the way. If you've never been pounded on the toe by a Yorker from a fast bowler, then you don't know pain. This is an excellent piece of bowling.
We see some of us, Brian,
Stop
manage
it.
to use our bats.
Stop it. Just stop it. I saw that one coming from all the way
You
in.
did.
Where are we? I saw it coming from all the way in downtown Seattle.
No, but full disclosure, I've lost my left toenail twice because of a Yorker.
Ouch.
Yeah.
I have never had that happen to the point where I've lost a toenail, but I've certainly heard it.
Well, that's going to be yet another one. This is really well bowled, playing well and truly on top of it, and Sanvi's going to have to make the long walk back. She's gone for a duck, but what an over this is turning out to be. What a finish this is turning out to be.
This is just such good bowling. It's a slightly slower delivery too. Dipping at the last minute, going over the big attempted slog by Sanvi. And I will tell you that this becomes much more difficult there. She loses her shape, loses what I really wonder what kind of shoes she's wearing, because she slid across the turf in a way that you're not supposed to if you're wearing the proper shoes. But what a great last two overs. I cannot stop saying that. Over number 19 went for 2 runs. Over number 20 has only gone for 1 so far, and 2 wickets have fallen. This is excellent stuff. And by the way, the 1 run was a wide. Nothing off the bat so far in over number 20 with 2 balls to go. This is just absolutely brilliant from Jessica Willett-Gamoa.
Finally, a run off the bat. It could be dicey. Direct hit, and that would have been curtains.
The captain, Geetika Kadali, will have the honor of facing the last ball. But what an absolutely brilliant bowling effort here. Are you looking now to just swing for the fences? I think the scoop shot is off, particularly since there's now a deep third in position. I think Geetika Kadali needs to swing for the fences here.
What a finish. What a finish this is. Full credit to the Raptors. They've brought this back. They've pulled it in together, and the death overs haven't cost nearly as many as they could have. In fact, it's one of the few times that we've seen this run rate dip under 7 in this innings. 138 for 6 in their 20 overs, the Washington Waves. And if they don't come out on top of this contest, they will question the death of this innings. 4 overs, not many runs coming whatsoever. Nick Ardoshi started well, 18 off 14, but it was about Jazara Claxton today. 61 off 51 delivery. She anchored this innings almost all the way through. Tarnum Chopra, handy again, 31 off 32. And the skipper, she struggled for those 19 runs. Bat, really difficult to find the ball. 138 for 6, Brian.
138 when 150 was well and truly on the cards. The last 2 overs, Manali went for 6 combined. When have you ever seen that? Look at the bowlers. Lekka Shetty won for 25, 2 wickets each for Jessica Willett-Gamoa and Ritu Singh. But I will highlight Lekka Shetty and Jessica Willett-Gamoa. Over number 19 bowled by Lekka Shetty went for 4 runs. Over number 20, bowled by Jessica Willett-Gamoa, only went for 2 runs and 2 wickets were taken. Absolutely brilliant. 139 will be your target when you come back. Look at that. That is the summary right there. Jazara Claxton leading from the front, 61 from 58. Tarnum Chopra batted well, 31 from 32. The wickets on the right side of your screen, Jessica Willett-Gamoa, 2. Ritu Singh, 2. Vaishnavi Mangekar was run a ball expensive, but I think overall the bowlers will be much more happy with how they bowled toward the back end of the innings than the middle. Having said that, 138 is on the board, the highest score in the tournament so far. And so the Redmond Raptors will have to bat out of their skin, I would think, to get anything close to that total. Guess what? This was off the entire time.
No, it couldn't have been. Welcome back to the action. It is the Raptors taking on the Waves, and it's time for the chase. 139 runs is what the Raptors need in the second innings. They've lost one chasing, they've won one chasing.
And a very interesting combination of batters out there with their star opener in Kiana Joseph missing. They have promoted Shilan Khan, who came in towards the end of the previous game and used the long handle a bit. Probably the idea is for her to go and take charge from the beginning and give them some impetus.
Yeah, I don't mind that as well, because we saw she's got the ability to go up and over. She's got the ability to hit the long ball. It is power play overs for the first 6 overs. Cami Desai also getting runs earlier in that first game today. So she's coming in with a bit of form as well. Just really keen to seeing how the Raptors go about this game, especially because it is their second game of the day. There will be some tired legs out there. And it's the largest total that we've seen so far in this series that they have to chase. It is, of course, the Seattle Orcas Women's T20 Exhibition Series. And we're all set for ball 1 of the second innings. Starts well, the captain Gitika Kodali, but it's also going to be the first run off the bat.
Always a matter of confidence. If you can get off the mark the first ball, the first part is getting bat on ball. That's confidence. Getting a run off the mark, getting the team off the mark, it's all good. Yeah, as I said, Raptors would love to go with both the matches won today, and that would put them right on top emphatically in that points table.
Bowling a probing line, Gitika Kodali. Might need to get in a slightly better position to play that. Shilan Khan.
They will play the last game tomorrow, Manali, once they come back, which will decide the finalist.
Not very well balanced on that one, Shilan Khan. Yeah, it is a double round robin. Every game very important, especially when you're tied on points and it's going to come down to net run rate. And then the finals scheduled for Sunday. But it is a wonderful initiative, this series. Worked into the leg side. She will get off the mark as well. It's great to see the Orcas taking charge and looking to grow the women's game and bring it to standards that the USA hasn't quite seen yet with women's cricket. They want to try and give them more game time, more quality, and potentially look to grow this into something much bigger.
I can't say it much better, Manali. And it also puts the onus on other franchises to do something similar when they are not having the MLC window open, because these are franchises which are having the resources, they have the depth of experience and also the funds for them to bring together an avenue like this which can give opportunity to talent in their region.
Down the track, beats the first fielder, and I think that's 4. It's just rolled over the line. It was a decent effort in the deep, but the over's going to finish with a boundary. 1 gone, 6 for none. I like this from Cami Desai. She chooses to use her feet down the track. A lot better than the ball before, where she was trying to play it into the offside when the width just wasn't available.
Excellent effort there by Ira Mohindru, the youngster, 14-year-old. Fumbled a bit, but the intent was there. She gave it all. And that 4, the over could have been a good, decent 2-run or 2-3 runs over, where that 4 kind of brings it to 6, which they would take it at this point.
That's a good word, intent. And I find if you can have good intent, whether it's a bat, the ball, or in the field, you just tend to see more things go your way because it's a mindset, isn't it? You're going to give it 100%. Amarpal Kaur with the ball from the other end. Starts short, wide, and good work there to cut off a couple of runs.
Interestingly, Annika Kolan came as an opener in the first game yesterday. Since then, she has dropped to give a little bit of solidity in the middle order and let some of the other attacking batters to go up there and use the power play to their benefit. So they're trying and mixing things around a bit. 3 different opening combinations in 3 games.
Very well bowled. It just held its line as well.
Seasoned campaigner Amarpal picks up wickets at regular intervals.
Gone. That's the first one. Cami Desai is not going to kick on to get a big one here today. And an early breakthrough for the Blazers.
That's what pressure does, Manali. The pressure was building to get some big shots in. And a couple of low-scoring deliveries out there. She tried to come out of the crease, take the initiative, but at the end was forced into a mistake, just lobbing the ball to an easy, soft dismissal, a square of the wicket.
Cami Desai gone for 5 off 4. It is 7 for none. 7 for 1 would be more accurate considering the wicket has just fallen. It's a double-header day, so sometimes it can be a long day.
And the samosas can have a tranquilizing effect sometimes.
Well, no, I think the issue is we only got 1 each. We needed 2.
There we said she came down a bit down the wicket, but it was too low for her. She reached out for it, and in the process scooped it up, the fielder in the gully.
She almost just handed it to her, didn't she? Opening the face of the bat.
Yep.
Would have liked to get it wide of the fielder.
Amarpal, once again, we just talked about that she has this knack, happy knack of picking up wickets, regular intervals. Outstanding average that she has. Once again, taking a breakthrough for her team. Making a breakthrough.
Good length. And a probing line. It's a low full toss. Anika Kalans just hit it straight back to Amarpal Kaur. It is captain v captain, actually, in the sense of Canada-USA.
Oh, the battle within the battle.
Captain of USA taking on captain of Canada. This is in the gap, and it's driven really well. It's going to pick up 4. Just dents what would have been a very good over from Amarpal Kaur. Also means Anika Kalan's off strike with that.
Once again, the last ball of the over. Again, the fielder had a good opportunity to cover it. It should have been fielded. And against the rain of, against all odds, they get a boundary at the end. So that keeps them in the hunt with a run rate of 5.5. What could have been just a 2-run over there. Hit straight to the fielder and it went through that fielder outside the boundary.
2 straight. Helped off the pads. Make that 4 more. This is better from Shilan Khan as well. Better control.
That would make her feel very good. That's first big shot from her. Played with some degree of confidence. The line was missing going down the leg side, so she was completely in control when she lobbed it up.
Well bowled. Tempting into the shot, tempting forward.
She just played with the hands, just reaching out for the ball, the head not in place.
And she seems to struggle with that length because it's the footwork. It's quite limited. There again, a pretty good example of it. That front leg goes absolutely nowhere. Just throws her hands at it. Let's get a slip in there, shall we?
That would not be a bad tactic so far, because she's sort of putting a dead bat outside to the off stump. That could be a good opportunity for an outside edge.
Thick outside edge this time. Pressure mounting. 3-dot balls, something's got to give.
Interestingly, when she came towards the end of the innings, she didn't have that obligation to play a very cautious game. She just threw everything, batted everything, and she was scoring much freely. Sometimes I wonder, situation brings out a different way of batting, and that probably is a conversation they're having out there. Anika just probably trying to calm her nerves.
Geetika Kodali is wondering how this continues to miss that outside edge. Very limited footwork this though. She's losing out on runs because she just can't get in a better position.
The heavily stacked out offside field is also working on her mind. Whoa.
Boulder! You could see that coming from miles away. Full straight and right through onto the stumps. Shilan Khan's going to have to walk back for 6 off 9. Kodali does pick up a wicket. 3 overs gone, 15 for 2.
You called it, Marali, and that's exactly what it was, just around the corner. A matter of time for a ball to pitch on the stumps. And she tried to play that unnatural shot of a straight ball coming onto the stumps. She tried to play it across, and completely missing it. Stumps rattled.
No balance, feet haven't moved, the head's gone in front of her. She's lost balance. And I'm sure she and her coaches will be working on that.
The other thing I would think, I'm sure her coaches and the team seniors would sit down and they would probably reflect on this. Was she not playing her natural game? Sometimes the natural game is also something that brings the best of it. And when you go into that unnatural path, you are trying to stop yourself from going forward and committing yourself. That's exactly what.
Quick single.
It seemed like she was holding herself back every time.
Well, it could be nerves. Mind you, I haven't seen her before today. So I'm not sure if footwork is an issue that she has normally. And if it is, then it's certainly not going to be fixed in the series. This is something that she's going to have to go back home and work on it with her coaches at home. Batting with edges at the moment.
Divya Saxena batted so well in the previous game, and I wonder when would they be expecting her to come in here.
Down the track, make that wicket number 3. Very little connection, not out of the middle, and it's going to be another batter dismissed on duck. Amarpal Kaur has now picked up her 2nd wicket.
She has a golden arm, doesn't she? Not doing anything wrong so far, 2 for 6. It's just the 2nd over.
Dot balls, runs not coming, and the pressure forces you into a release shot. She gone for a duck. Yeah, all smiles there for Amarpal Kaur, as it should be. 6 for 2, her bowling figures. 3.3 overs gone at 16 for 3.
I was just asking for when would Divya Saxena be induced, and I probably should have asked for a lottery ticket there, because exactly in that particular ball, whatever happened has brought her to the crease now.
And they did have a good partnership in the first game, these
Yep.
two. It was an unfortunate run out that eventually saw Anika Kolan back in the pavilion, but had pretty good understanding, these two together.
The pressure of the circumstance here is a completely different one versus when they came together in the previous game. Also, the context of where the competition is right now and quality of bowling, all that included, it's a completely different texture of pressure. But interesting, two senior players. This is not, you won't get a better situation to impress your presence.
Yeah, and scoreboard pressure is a thing. There's psychological pressure there. One delivery to come. And a dot. Excellent over. Just the one run and a wicket coming off of it. 4 overs gone, 16 for 3.
3 wickets. That's going to be the most pivotal. You won't worry about the run rate, although it is worrisome that it's just 4, but it's the 3 wickets which is crucial.
Also makes me then question, and I get the comfort zone in wanting to bowl first, but you've run yourself into trouble in the first game yesterday, having to bat second. You chose to have a bowl first, great, but you struggled chasing. Today they were able to do it because it was a low-scoring affair in the first game. I'm not sure whether the hesitancy is quite appropriate to say we are not comfortable with batting first if we win the toss.
That's a very good point. In fact, are you playing with the situation or you just have a template prefixed in your mind and you're going with that? They had just finished a chase.
Very well bowled. Tarnam Chopra into the attack. I mean, the reason I say that, the way I look at it is if your bowling unit, if you are a stronger bowling unit, see what you can put up on the scorecards and then go out and defend it. But when you know your batting is weaker and you want to chase, you've already got a weaker mindset in the sense that, yes, we know we're weaker in this area. Then you've got scoreboard pressure to deal with.
This batting looks, besides these two batters, I'd be curious who would be the other people who can potentially put their hand up.
I mean, they
And
do have the likes of Ritu Singh still, so there is power there to come. But I just find that what they continue to miss out on is building partnerships and playing it in phases when they're chasing.
get it.
That's something that Divya Saxena does very well. She's not going to rush herself and she's not going to allow the bowler to rush her back to her mark. She will slow the bowler down in between deliveries to just break that momentum up. And you'll see she's not quite ready yet until she's ready on her own terms.
That's experience for you. It comes with experience when you play the situation. Also make sure that you call the shots.
And with spinners, they can get through their deliveries so quickly. Before you know it, the over's gone. You only have got one run in it. On the flip side, as a bowler, you want to be able to do that.
Yes.
Tough time out there with the bat at the moment. Just the one run coming off of it. 5 overs gone. 17 for 3.
5.
17 for 3 is not a very good score. Shuma Jumder.
Win predictor is on screen. Your favorite thing out there, 68% waves.
68% waves. And I have to say, as Amar Paul Carr continues, these graphics that you're seeing on your screen, courtesy of the folks at Crick Center, add so much to the broadcast. Now, looking at, we can argue about whether or not the 68/32% is going to be accurate. I say just looking at this holistically, it feels like the Washington Waves have the game under control. And you'd certainly prefer to be them, I would think, than the Redmond Raptors.
At least you're not seeing 95-5.
It's not 95-5, no. But let's talk about the fact that at the end of over number 5, Redmond Raptors 17 for 3, the Washington Waves, and they batted as this is lofted down the ground over the top of the fielder, Taranam Chopra, down at long on. She was in, I would think, too far, and it landed actually for 4.
Yeah, she could have been. We've seen a couple of those, haven't we? Where the fielder has been slightly inside if they would have been on the bound. But she was quite a few yards inside, and immediately there's a bit of a change there.
Oh, that is proof that Captain Geetika Kadali thinks that catch should have been taken.
Yeah.
She, number 1, is a lot taller than
Yes.
Taranam Chopra. And then number 2, I would think the misjudgment was apparent there.
Amar Paul, Kaur, Brian. We came in when we looked at the records, the docket for the commentary. Her name was standing out with the average of 10.11. She has lived up to that reputation so well in every single game.
For
so
people
far.
who are not familiar with the meaning of averages in cricket, what does it mean for a bowler to have an average of 10?
This is every 10th ball she's going to pick up a wicket.
Well, that would be her strike rate.
Yeah,
Her
that's
average
right.
would be she takes a wicket every
Every
10
10
runs that she concedes. If
Thank you for
everybody
correcting
were
that.
to do that, then every opposition side would be all out for 100.
100,
Which
yes.
you'd win some games like
Yeah,
that.
true.
That is the end of over number 6. Power play done and dusted. 23 for 3 after 6. We can compare where the two teams were after the power play. When the Washington Waves batted, they'd also lost 3 wickets, but they had so make that 44 runs. So you're well ahead of the game, almost double the number of runs, same number of wickets lost. And again, Kiana Joseph is not there, so you're missing a pretty big piece of your batting attack, at least on paper. Is it too early to say that the result of this game depends on Ritu Singh, who is still to come? Is that too early?
Significantly, they certainly are looking at her as one of the power hitters who can add some impetus. But that said, this is the pair who is potentially going to define how close they can get to the total.
Well, this is, to me, a drag down from Taranam Chopra. She could potentially have pitched that ball a little bit more, pitched that ball up a little bit more. That length is not going to trouble many batters.
Especially when it's pitching and spinning a little more outside the leg stump. That is, they've got enough time to give enough visibility to the batter to adjust and place it to the vacant areas.
Good work by Sanvi Sood, but not able to get anything on it. Oh, just not quite able to get to it at long on. And consecutive 4s here to open over number 7. Look at Adam Hall sprinting across the outfield like a gazelle to retrieve that one. Look at this ball again.
Just what the doctor ordered. 2 boundaries on the trot. That is exactly what the Raptors need to do. They need some big shots. They need to get their required run rate a bit more manageable. Current run rate a little more higher.
After this, we'll go through the run rates. Still very short. I think Taranam Chopra bowls better.
Yeah, she's dragging the ball a little too short at this point. Those things are not going to bother Divya Saxena. She's way too good a batter and will capitalize on each one of them.
Well, let's take a look at After this, we'll go through the current run rate and what the target is and how they need to change their game. But I think things are developing in a way that would be very troublesome for the Redmond Raptors. That's to me a better length, much better length. Punch down the ground to mid wicket for a single. So, with that single, the current run rate 4.95. Required rate is 7.95. So essentially, you need to score 3 more runs per over than you're scoring right now. It is not easy to accelerate in that way, especially after you've lost a few wickets. Anika Cole and the captain, Divya Saxena, the senior pro, will be tasked with at least keeping the run rate around a run a ball at this stage and then setting the platform for the Ritu Singhs and so on to come and hit big later on. I would think that's the script I would want to go with.
Couple of boundaries in the first 2 balls, 2 singles. Well, that's easy if you can do that every over.
Sure. So that she closes better than she starts. Taranam Chopra over number 7 was a little bit expensive, but all in all, your team is still on top. The Washington Waves, Redmond Raptors after 7 are 33 for 3. There is the brass. 2 really just very handsome looking gentlemen too, it has to be said. So,
They look content. There's a lot of planning that would have gone behind this, and they've earned the rights to put their feet up a little as they see the fruition, all the vision coming to fruition out here.
oh, no
Setting
question.
a great example for other franchises as well across the United States.
No question. So, Adirawat it will be who will take the ball for the first time. The target is 139. Another 106 needed.
Another bowler
106
with that.
needed from the next 77 balls. Finish your thought.
Yep, another bowler who's out of those multiple leg spinners that we have seen over the last 3-4 days now. Last couple of days. Adia Rawat, very impressive.
I like the length that she's bowling so far. You want to ask the batters to hit down the ground. You don't want it to be in the slot because with the wind, that's an easy hit over the top. But you want to be full enough to not allow the batters to get onto the back foot and play you square of the wicket. Good couple of balls so far. Well played.
It's a bit of an old school of spin bowling here, Brian. I mean, off late in T20.
This is sloppy.
Sneak in for the second run there. It was overthrow. And what I was saying was off late in T20 because of the pressure of getting hit. The spinners have been bowling it faster, flatter. So it's heartening to see these young spinners coming and flighting the ball. This is a very old school, high on deception kind of bowling, which gladdens me really that they have been taught the basics by their coaches in an old school way.
It's very, let's call it, it's instinctive for a spinner who gets hit to automatically go flat and quick. But you've seen so far, and maybe this one is a little bit too high. It's a full toss, but she gets away with it down to mid-wicket. Isana Vagela doing the fielding down there. But it takes so much courage as a spinner to still toss the ball up, knowing that they want to hit you down the ground, hit you out of the park, to still throw the carrot out there, toss the ball up, and invite them to play the big shot. That takes a lot. Wanted to get a single there, sent back, and rightly so. That is the end of over number 8. Really good one. Just 3 runs coming from the first over bowled by Adi Rawat. End of over number 8, 36 for 3.
The required run rate now creeping one more run. It's 8.58. They wouldn't want it to get beyond 9. And that's when things start getting really suffocating for them. And the scoreboard pressure can do funny things. They will have to find their boundaries every over. It's that stage now they can't get any 1Z, 2Z overs anymore.
If you are anywhere in the Where are we? Seattle.
Monroe.
The Monroe, Washington area, and can make it out. Well, it's a little too late to make it out to this match if you're not already here. But 2 matches tomorrow, 11 a.m. and 4 p.m., and then the big final on Sunday.
Absolutely. A cracking weekend coming up for this first edition. Be here if you can to participate and promote this cause as you see some of the best sort of women's cricket talent on display here. They're battling it out for the excellence as part of the Seattle Orcas Women's T20 Exhibition Series. It's a great occasion to be here, spending a weekend. We will have 2 games tomorrow, leading up to the grand finale on Sunday.
Really great initiative, and I'm going to specifically call out a person who I've never met in person, but I have become acquainted with through the power of social media. She lives not too far from here, Candice Margison. Candice will not be able to make it here. She just texted me to say on Sunday, but she will be watching. Candice, we miss seeing you here. Hopefully, there will be many more of these that take place. You'll be able to come out and watch yourself. And yes, when you do come, I will make sure, assuming that I'm still here, as they say, if the Lord says the same, that I will put a ball and a bat in your hands and encourage you to hit the long ball. So much said. And again, by the way, after this ball, we'll talk about this. There is a longest hitting 6 tournament. That may not be exactly what it's called, but it's a tournament that is open to any fans who want to take part. On Saturday afternoon, there's sort of the, let's call it the round robin stages, and then the finals, playoffs and final, if you will, on Sunday. So there's a lot to do. If you're going to be in the area, please feel free to come on out and try your hand at this wonderful game. Back to this specific match, though, you're falling deeper and deeper into trouble here. Even with that wide, Yashadi Titeki is still bowling a really good over here. Her first conceding 2 runs to include that wide. And it feels as though there's a lot of work that still needs to be done. Divya Saxena is going to be an important person here in the chase, along with her captain, Annika Kolan. With that single, the partnership is now worth 24, but it feels like you need a lot more than that.
They do, and they do, and they do. They need that, and they need that at a brisk pace now. They have to accelerate. It is right now 12 of 15, 15 of 20 for each one of them. That's not the kind of strike rate you're looking at. They need to accelerate. They need to get some big shots. Take the risk. This is the time. They cannot delay it further.
Well, by definition, you need to hit big because you still need another 100, and that is lofted in the air, catchable to square leg, and a clean catch. How big a dismissal is that? That is the captain, Annika Kolan. That is a clean catch in the deep at square leg. Wicket number 4 is down, 39 for 4.
If she isn't picking wickets, Brian, Amar Paul, she's grabbing catches. She's everywhere at this point of time. And I must say, the Raptors, they have got themselves into a tangle here.
That is a really good catch. It's almost always difficult to catch when you're moving laterally.
Yes.
And really, when you're moving at all, it's difficult to catch. But that's really soft hands. The technique is there. That tells you how the international players can set the standard. That is not an easy catch, but she made it look way, way simpler than it would have been. 4th wicket down, and they're absolutely in trouble here. There's another 100 runs that you need, and you only have another 67 balls in which to get them. So that required rate is now more than double the actual rate. Required rate, 8.96. Actual scoring rate, 4.42. You're in trouble.
What an incredibly valuable player. I am so impressed by Amarpal Kaur. Every single game she's made a definitive impact, if not with the ball, with the field, if not with the field and ball, with the bat. She's someone who can't take her out of action. She's always involved in something or the other. Even in that huddle, she had a lot to say for the team, egging them.
Well, I don't know that the best way to start Tarito Singh is a half tracker. She gets away
Yep.
with it because Ritu Singh in good nick puts that over the ropes at square leg. End of over number 8. Make that over number 9. It's a good one. And
Yashaditi will thank her stars, and she came up pretty cheaply in there. Maybe Ritu was a little flummoxed that she got an easy one so quickly that she could not capitalize on that.
oh my goodness. Well, a whole lot of trouble here. Another 11 overs to go. But going into over number 10, I think that you've seen evidence that you're falling further and further behind here in the game. The Redmond Raptors going back to Adirawat. Last over before the water break. At least what we assume will be that last over before the water break.
In the first game yesterday, the same oppositions, the same format. Raptors batted first, 123, and the Waves came out and defended the total with such aplomb. Their players were all over the place. They didn't give boundaries for a long period of time. And the field that rose so well, they're following that same template. It's that this is their first game today, so they're looking fresh, the weather is cool, and they're so chirpy at this point. They see themselves winning this game.
Ritu Singh down the ground, but it's going to land short. Tell you what, I don't know that if I'd want to keep hitting the ball in the direction of Amarpal Kaur. She's done everything today.
Yep.
Ritu Singh might just consider herself lucky that one didn't hit, or wasn't hit as cleanly as she typically hits them.
That was not too far away from Amarpal. I guess a little bit of more carry. She was gobbling it up as well.
It feels to me, as the required rate now over almost 9.4, that Ritu Singh will probably want to get through the next 2 deliveries, take the water break, assess where they are at that point, and then attack. That shot right there, I think, underscores what I just said, because that's a drivable ball for her. I think she wants to get to the water break, and even though the required rate now is above 9.5, I think she wants to get through the next ball first, and then see what happens in the last 10. Okay, everything I just said, everything I just said threw out the window because she threw the kitchen sink at that one. Oh, that is going to be very close. But good athleticism by Ritu Singh, who I believe is the best athlete probably in this tournament. 2 runs, and she'll be on the non-strikers end to start the second half of this innings. End of over number 10. Did they go for the third umpire? We'll take a look at this. I don't know if they went upstairs. Let's see. Did they go upstairs? Well, it did look as though they went upstairs, didn't it? Because they're not walking off of the water break just yet. In fact, take that back. They are walking off of the water break, so maybe they did not go upstairs. They did go upstairs. Okay, they did go upstairs. We're now hearing. So, well, the players are going to take the water break anyway. Allow the umpires to take the time to look at what they need to. See if we can see what the umpires saw. This is actually a lot closer than I realized.
Yes.
There's Ritu Singh. And I believe she's definitely across the line. That is an excellent piece of athleticism from Ritu Singh. Umpires will want to look at it a number of times, but I think she's fine.
Not the most swiftest of the takes, and by the wicket keeper, one would say that she probably took a little more time to collect and get it to the stumps. But it was very close than what it seemed to the naked eye, Brian.
Absolutely. Okay, that is the water break. We'll take our final break of the day. When we come back, it will be the Washington Waves looking to close out what in their mind would be a pretty straightforward victory. Redmond Raptors at the 10 over mark are 44 for 4.
Hydrated, back into the action. That's the story at the moment. 44 for 4. They are well and truly short of that mark of 139 that they need. The Raptors. And it's been a slight struggle with the bat, having lost wickets early today. Changing the bowling as well. JV Patak's going to come in. That's a full toss. It might even be a no ball. And if the no ball's not called, that might be a wicket. Hand stays down from the umpire. Make that wicket number 5. And it is the set batter. Divya Saxena is going to have to walk back. Gone for 16 off 21. Not the best of deliveries, but when you pick up a wicket off your first delivery, you'll take it.
Well, Ritu Singh was begging for a full toss no ball. Umpires did not agree. That is a good, clean catch taken low to the ground. Catch there taken, I believe that is Adiarawat. But more to the point, you've lost your international player, Divya Saxena. Ritu Singh has not yet gotten going. She's 4 from 6. And it feels like this is less a question of who is going to win and more a question of what over is going to happen in.
Well, the bigger question is, they might lose today, pick up another win tomorrow. If it comes down to tied points again, the net run rate's going to take a hit because they are really falling behind here. You might not win, but you still want to get as close as you can. That net run rate might come into equation. It is going to bring Achini Pereira out to the middle. 95 off 59 is a tall task from here on.
Is a really, really tall task. And it's not going to be any easier if the bowling continues to be as accurate and as penetrative as it is. I don't know if you know who Harmeet Singh is. Harmeet Singh playing here. This action, her action, Javi Patak, reminds me of Harmeet Singh. Take a look at this. That is, to me, Harmeet Singh. Struck right back at the bowler. Another wicket down. Look at that smile.
Caught bowled. You just sense that maybe the non-striker was saying, hang on a second, was it a bump ball or not? And there was a bit of discussion between the two of them. Even right now, there's a bit of hesitation as Achini Pereira walks back.
Oh, no.
No, that is flush. That is right out of the middle, straight into the hands. Absolutely nothing bumped about that.
Well, I've seen situations where ball, bat, and ground all come together at the same time. This was not that. That's flush off of the bat as we take a look at this again.
Down the track, looking to get to the pitch, but that is right off the bat. Certainly no ground involved, and that's another batter gone for a duck. Big, big problems here for the Raptors. 2 in the over. Wickets, that is. It's 44 for 6.
Ritu Singh standing at the non-strikers end. 4 from 6 is going to be Sahana Shivakumar, who takes her place at the wicket opposite Ritu Singh. At what point do you just say, Ritu Singh, the ball is in your court, so to speak, do what you can do best, hit sixes? Or is it more possible or more advisable to bat all the way through the end?
I mean, if you're going for the win, you're gonna have to hit some sixes. The required run rate is 10 runs and over at the moment. The disappointing part for me is the hesitancy in winning the toss and choosing to bat first.
So that disappointment would have taken place an hour and a half, 2 hours ago. As of right now, it feels like the objective is less about looking to win.
That's going to be wicket number 7. It's through the gate, and the bails have been dislodged. What an over this is. JV Patak, 3 wickets. She is just 15 years of age, and she's coming and she's spinning a web out there. That's another batter, gone for a duck. It's 44 for 7. The wheels have come off for the Raptors.
Look at this again. Tossed up beautifully. Arm ball in between the bat and the pad. It instead of turning, which is what the regulation finger spinner would do from the left-hander away from the righty, it goes in between bat and pad and takes the top of leg stump. Beautifully bowled. 5 deliveries bowled so far in this over. Her first. Take a look at this again. Maybe you won't be able to see the turn from this angle, but that tells you that it hits the top of leg stump. 5 deliveries bowled in this her first over, Jaivi Patak. No runs conceded yet, and already 3 wickets with 1 ball remaining.
Well, if you're someone who's OCD and likes patterns, you'll want to end this over with a dot. If you're
Wicket, not wicket, not wicket. I think she'd prefer to end it with a wicket,
I was
actually.
just gonna say.
Quadruple wicket maiden would be a really, really beautiful thing to have.
Tossed up.
Oh, wide. So that spoils the maiden.
It spoils the maiden. It spoils the pattern.
That it does.
I think we're being a bit harsh.
We are
She's
being
picked up 3
harsh.
wickets.
She's all of 15 years old. Let's take a look at this again.
A dot, and that will end the over. 3 wickets and a run coming off of it. 11 overs gone. It's 45 for 7. Yeah, disappointment from the batters who have fallen, and they should be. Could have played that better. This is going to be runs. It's going to be 4 runs. In fact, Ritu Singh has been at the non-strikers, and she's seen 4 wickets go down. She now needs to single-handedly try and find a way to get them close.
And it would be a single-handed job from here, Ritu Singh. Now, can Ritu Singh score 11 runs and over? Absolutely.
Very well played. In the gap for 4. Leg side again. It is a massive gap. Should be able to come back for 2.
By the way, that last double bringing up the 50.
Calls for catch, and it's going to go for 4 instead.
Element of risk there, but I don't think Ritu Singh will mind that very much. She is in hit me mode, or hit ball mode is what I should say. Didn't even attempt to keep that one down. Placed it well, getting it between those 2 fielders on the circle on the offside. It just feels like she could treat this like she's part of the biggest 6 this weekend. She could start that from here, because for me, especially from this end, it's just time to hit ball.
It's a good line. Not a lot of room to work with on that one. Adya Rawat, 18 years of age. Plenty of teenagers here. Leg side. Oh, what a catch that is! What an outstanding catch that is! Ritu Singh was looking for a boundary. She's looking for a maximum. Instead, Ishani Vagela says, hang on, I've got an arm on this, and it's stuck in the hand.
How did that stick? How in the world did that stick? This is 6 for all money. Isana Vagela running to her right. She had no business getting a hand to this, let alone taking the catch. That is absolutely stunning. We are at the angle that we could see that that would have gone over the rope for six had she not caught that. That is brilliant. And the end of Rita Singh just feels now like the end of the match for the Redmond Raptors, 55 for 8.
What a catch that was.
Best catch this week so far. And I don't think you're going to see one better than that either tomorrow or Sunday.
Well, I
It
wouldn't
was
go that
that-
far, but I will say it's the best catch we've seen
It
so
was
far.
hammered flat and hard. She's running to her right. You don't take a better catch than that. I'm sorry. Especially given who it was who was dismissed. That is brilliant. As you pour cold water on my point.
I do
You
love
do that a
doing
lot.
that.
You do that a lot.
Oh, it's going to be a dot to end the over. It's 55 for 8. 2 more wickets is all they need. The Washington Waves, and they get an early day home. Played 2 games back-to-back yesterday. They've played the afternoon game today. They would love some rest, I'm sure.
Amazing.
84 from 48. Tall task. Got 2 batters who are yet to get off the mark.
Each has faced one more ball than you and me, and neither of us has played a competitive match in, I don't know, a few years.
I don't understand your point. I love seeing you frustrated. I love it.
I'm just glad the Comcam didn't flip onto us just now. Let's just say it's a long way to go and not many resources to get there.
Scampered across for a quick single. Let me tell you, though, I do play some really competitive cricket at home with my kids. And it gets very exciting, very competitive. I don't know if you've seen the clip with the bumper that they bowled at me. Actually, it was a beamer. It wasn't even a bumper.
Beamer.
It was a beamer. So you might not have hit a few balls out there, but common practice at my house. I love beating up on the kids. Makes me feel very good about
You know
myself.
what? I would think you have the mentality that it doesn't matter if the kids are your own offspring, you'd probably want to put the hurt on them.
Oh, 100%. They've got to work for it. No freebies in this world. Set the tone right.
Oh, goodness.
Outside edge, just short of the fielder. This could be end. Oh, dear. Needed to do better. The bowler had to get her body behind it. Get those hands in place.
Well, Javi Patak assumed that this was going to be a direct hit. And that ball was nowhere near. Take a look at this. She backs away, thinking that the ball was going to be a direct hit. Here, she easily here could have gotten in line and collected this. And she collects this. It's an easy run out. So she'll want to clean that up. The youngster.
Well, they need 2 wickets to end the innings. She's picked up 3 wickets, 3 for 3. And she's got 2 deliveries in this over if she wanted to finish with a fifer and wrap up the game.
Wow. A fifer. You went all the way there, didn't you?
It was actually Shield. Who's standing just behind us here.
So you're blaming Shield.
No, I'm crediting him. That might be a no ball.
No.
Is it dipping enough? Oh, confusion. Confusion between the 2 fielders. It's going to run away over the ropes as well. I'll just wait to see if this has gone for 4 or 6. Just waiting for the official confirmation from the umpires. Well, might have to go upstairs and check this out.
Ooh.
Oh, it is a 6.
Did not realize that that was hit so well. Oof.
Very nearly a collision as well.
Yeah.
Lot of flight, and right in the block hole for a dot to end the over. 13 overs gone. It's 64 for 8.
Take a look at this again. See if we can see where this ball lands. This is going to be the best angle, I would think. And this is going to be a hard catch because not only do they each need to watch the ball, but out of the corner of their eye, they would have been seeing each other. And this ball looks like it lands inside the rope. So that would have been an opportunity for the umpires to go upstairs. Had they gone upstairs, I think that the 6 would have been negated and a 4 signaled instead. But that's water under the bridge, to say the least at this stage. 64 for 8.
In the gap. And finally a run.
Adira what now into her last over. She's really bowled well. 1 for 18 from her 3.1 overs. And she has done her part. Hasn't taken a lot of wickets, just one, but she's done her part to keep the required rates increasing. And as soon as I say that, she sprays one wide, but you've gotten so much of what you needed from the young leg spinner. She's definitely been a net asset to the team so far.
Good use of the feet. Pick up a boundary on this.
Extra cover is wide open. And I will tell you that you will never give that back. It's never easy to score in that region of the field, particularly when you're batting this low down the order. So she'll definitely take that.
Ooh, that's well bowled. Bit of extra pace on that as well. A good amount of bounce off the surface.
Believe it or not, they've just now gotten past the halfway stage of the runs that they need. They have 70, they need another 69. Unfortunately for them, just 39 balls remaining and only 2 wickets in hand. Manal, it feels like 139 was always going to be a stiff chase. But it only got to probably the power play when it started to feel like it was going to be mission impossible for the Redmond Raptors.
Well fielded, trouble out in the middle. And just makes it home in the end.
This is close. It's a good piece of reaction from Adirowat, collecting that ball and then immediately throwing from very close range, but that's not easy to complete that attempted run out. Luckily, at least for the batter, she did just get that bat back in time. Look at this. Good piece of handiwork. Catch, flick the ball back into the stumps, but she just did get back in time.
That's well played in the gap. And it's timed well enough as well to find the rope. They'll finish the over with a boundary. 2 boundaries coming off of it. In fact, it's the end of 14, 75 for 8.
The last couple of overs have been more along the lines of what you would have wanted in terms of runs, and there we see an absolutely wonderful dog. The pleasure that Monali Patel will never have of owning a canine. But more to the point, the ability to have these types of scenes around here in the, where are we? We're in the Monroe, Washington area. is a credit. And just from what I understand, and I live several thousand miles away in Austin, Texas, but I will tell you that the impression, or at least the sense that you get from this part of the country, is that they're really passionate about sports.
Oh, that would have been a great effort.
Yeah, that really would have been a good one, wouldn't it?
Just not getting it into the hands, but good intent.
Yeah, Nick Cardoshi almost getting that one, almost getting the hand just underneath that one. But just to finish that point, the sporting culture in this city is very, very strong. Several professional teams, several professional women's teams, and it feels like the part of the country where you could have, in theory, further down the line, something that resembles what we're looking at right now, but at a professional level.
Flashed hard on the offside, just falls short. Very good attempt. Gets it past the bowler. Won't get it past the fielder, though. So what you're saying, in other words, is Seattle's not quite the place for you.
That's literally the opposite of what I'm saying.
But you don't enjoy walking. You don't enjoy hiking. You don't enjoy running.
Nothing to do with any
here?
of that. I love the sporting scene here in Seattle. That's what would work here. I'll leave the walking and the running and the hiking and going into areas where there's huge
Trouble.
bears.
Oh, that's just missed. Won't be a boundary. They will cut it off for the overthrows, and there's more confusion out in the middle. It is all happening on this delivery. They need to calm the nerves down.
There's a lot that happened there. I don't know how many runs were run because there was so much confusion. I think they eventually ran 2 runs, did they not?
Well, they're trying to make up for your lack of running. That's what it was.
They're listening to us. The scorer doesn't know how many runs were scored just yet.
That's going to be a wide. Down leg.
But just to finish up on that point, this is the culture here just seems to be so consistent with being able to showcase these women on a much higher level at some point. And I think that this is the type of environment where you'd want to consider something along those lines. So, last ball coming up here in over number 15. You're about to lose me for the rest of the day, Manali Patel.
As long as it's just the rest of the day, I think we'll be fine. Good sharp turn. Good pace as well on that delivery. End of the 15th, it's 80 for 8.
Manali, and they're hanging in. They're hanging in there. The bridge still too far. 59 of 30 in many circumstances is still a very manageable total, but do they have the firepower in the remaining wickets? And they've lost a lot of them. And it's the talismanic Amarpal core back into the attack. 2 for 12 in a 3. And a good catch to boot with that. Once again, there was a slight loosener from Amarpal, but he had not much of a damage done, just a single push towards the mid-wicket fence. The last couple of overs, Manali, they're trying to play the big shots. They've done a few, courtesy some shoddy fielding here and there. They've got some runs in there. And right
That's going to be wicket number 9. Slashed away. Amarpal Kaur comes in. You said she's got a knack of picking up wickets, and she absolutely does. She's picked up her 3rd. Lekha Shetty's going to have to walk back for 15. 9 down now for 81 runs.
And Brian has a job on his hands because Amarpal has 3 wickets. Javi, the young 15-year-old, has 3 wickets. Amarpal has got a catch to go with it. We know what there are some batting performances there too. But in a game like this, where the bowlers have such a dominating performance, you would tend to think that it would be a bowler who would potentially get recognized as a MVP. But all that is out there. I mean, there's multiple contenders to it. This stage, 81 for 9. Vaishnavi Mangeshkar, she is the last batter in.
No pace whatsoever to work with from Amarpal Kaur.
She's an interesting bowler. Keeps it on wicket until you miss, I hit.
This time just outside the off-stump line. You can see she's just trying to tempt into a shot. Pace off, but here I'll try and give you a bit of a bait.
Yes. Waiting for the batter to make a mistake.
And this time a bit of flight.
Incredible control over the line and length. She varies the length, but line is pretty much consistent in that on and outside the off stump.
A dot to end the over. 1 run, 1 wicket coming off of it. End of 16, 81 for 9. All right, required run rate of 14.5. We pretty much know how this game's going to finish at this point.
At this stage, Jessica, she would probably be the... She's shown her intent, played a few big shots. I'm sure she's going to try as Geetika comes back into the attack. 1 for 10 from a 2. I think she feels she has had enough, wants to end the proceedings.
Calls for catch it! Just gets it past the bowler. I'm sure she saw that in slow motion, Geetika Kodali. Just seeing that last wicket get past her hand.
It's that kind of a day, Manali, that we would expect anything to stick around. We've seen some really good grabs through the day, especially that outstanding effort from Isani at the boundary. We could have not been surprised if this would have stuck in 2.
Raptors are certainly making the Waves toil for these last couple of wickets. Managed to pick up 1 last over. This last one, they're going to have to wait.
Waves would want to end it as quickly as possible.
Quick throw, just wayward.
They would come back to play the first game tomorrow morning again against the Bellevue Blazers. Well, Raptors will get some time out to play their last game tomorrow in the evening. This, eventually when the match ends, and we are hoping the result the way it will go, the margin of loss would add a lot of pressure for Raptors tomorrow in the last game.
And this is where that net run rate was always going to be a concern. They were in second place on that points table when this game started, the Raptors. The Waves were in third. In the gap. It's well placed. It's going to run away for a boundary. That's a good looking shot.
Like you said, she isn't giving up, Jessica. She probably wants to play out the entire overs. You can feel the fatigue setting in now. The player is a little sort of sluggish, little slowish, and that's quite understandable. It's like 2 games back to back is quite a tall order.
Just wayward. She'll have to re-bowl that.
One for 17 for Geetika. She's coming to the end of her third.
Leg side. Just one short bounce to the boundary. And it is that additional delivery in the wide that's cost them 4 runs. 17 overs gone. It's 92 for 9.
At this point, I think her team is hoping that all this heroics that she's demonstrating would bring them as close to the Waves as possible, because that would have a material impact on the points table. Although they might be, Waves might actually go up with 2 games, but they might not lose too many net run rate points, really. Monali, Waves is a team that plays very well if there is just 1 game per day. And now from here on, tomorrow and day after, if they make it to the finals, it's just 1 game per day.
Yeah, they've done their hard bit on day 1. Did have a chat with Sindhu Sriharsha, the coach of the Bellevue Blazers this morning, and I said, hang on, how have you got the first 2 days with just get 1 game on your hand? And she said, shh, that's our tactic, because, you know, by the time we get to day 3, we're hoping the other teams are tired when we have to play 2 games. But it is great to have at least 1 female coach in a women's tournament. And of course, with time, we're hoping that you can increase that aspect of the game as well, because growth is not just from a player's perspective. It is well-rounded growth, whether it's coaching, whether it is other roles in the game.
How's that seen so far? I mean, do you see a lot of ex-women cricketers from this region opting for qualifications or coaching?
Very, very slow, unfortunately. We just haven't seen the sort of growth that we should be seeing yet. But again, you know, the more the sport grows, the more the exposure grows, women will understand that there are other avenues to continue being involved in the sport after you're done with your playing.
Absolutely. And there's no two ways about it. We need to have more women participation in all aspects of the game. They bring in such a different perspective. They understand the women's sport much more closely, and that is the ingredient. That is the magic quotient when growing the women's sport in cricket.
Yeah, and you know what? It is interesting that you say that, because most people don't understand that the men's and the women's game is actually quite different.
It's very different. It's remarkably different. You're looking at different growth journeys, like especially even looking at the talent pool here. There is such a multifaceted talent pool. Each one of them is so skilled in so many different aspects.
This could be trouble. This could be trouble, and it absolutely is. That's going to round up the end of this game. They have been bowled out for 93. It's a run out in the end that'll pick up the final wicket. Never really got going with the bat today, the Redmond Raptors, and you've got to give a lot of credit to the Waves. They came out with a very clinical performance with both bat and ball, and well and truly short of her ground on that occasion.
At the end, I must say they came pretty they came this far. We were probably hoping they would probably fall short much earlier. So credit to them that they lose the game by 46 runs, which could have been a bigger margin. So that might just help them with the net run rate a bit.
Yeah, handshakes all around as we see the sun setting behind the overcast. It's been a good day of cricket. The Raptors are going to have to try and figure out a way out of the hole that they've dug themselves into, but that is a slightly sorry-looking scorecard. The openers never got going today. The skipper, 12 off 16 for her, and a handy 16 off 22 from Divya Saxena. Ritu Singh tried. She was out there for quite some time for her 14. Jessica Willath-Gamua at the end, 18 off 14 with Lekha Shetty getting to 15. In the end, not enough partnerships, not enough runs, and the idea that they had to chase the highest total of this tournament so far was just a bit too much for the Redmond Raptors today. They finished the innings on 93 as they have been bowled out in 18 overs.
And consecutively 2 days, the Waves defending totals. And if you see, the story is pretty much the same. 8 out of the 10 wickets picked up by the spinners, 3 apiece for JV Pathak, the 15-year-old playing a first game in this competition in just 2 overs, 3 for 10, and the talismanic Amarpal Kaur, 3 for 13 from a 4 overs, along with a catch. Geetika Kodali picked up 1, and Adya Rawat and Yashaditi Teki picked up 1 apiece. So a pretty inspiring performance by Waves today. That's the match summary.
Confirmation, 138 for 6 in the first innings. It was good with the bat, especially from Jazara Claxton. 61 off 51 from her and a handy 31 from Tarnum Chopra. The bowling, on the other hand, Amarpal Kaur 3 for 13, JV Pathak 3 for 10. And well and truly short of that is the Redmond Raptors score. 93 bowled out in 18 overs. The batting never really got going. And we did see some outstanding bowling, as I've mentioned, from Amarpal Kaur and JV Pathak. That is going to round off match day number 2 here at the Seattle Orcas Women's T20 Exhibition Series. The Washington Waves have won this by 45 runs. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll have the post-match presentation.
Welcome to the post-match ceremony. This match between the Redmond Raptors and the Washington Waves. I will tell you that this was a very exciting match for probably half of the match, and ultimately domination by the Washington Waves at the end. First, we're going to call forward. First, before we do that, we'll introduce our mascot, if is mascot the right word? Our hero, if you will, to present the Player of the Match trophies, Vandana Taj. A pleasure to have you.
Yeah.
We're going to do something special today. We're going to recognize two players for Player of the Match. The first anchored the batting, 61 from 51, 11 fours, and the sixth, Jazar Claxton.
Congratulations. Thank you.
So Jazar, question or two for you. Tell me about your mindset when you came into bat. You have a very cheeky look on your face. Tell me about your mindset coming into bat at the top of the order. Runs weren't exactly flowing at the top, but you anchored the innings and got a really good score on the board.
I just back myself to go out there and try bat as long as possible and try my best to get the team a good score at the end of the day.
You're from St. Kitts. Do I have this right? You play both cricket and football for St. Kitts?
Cricket for... Yeah.
Well, cricket for the West Indies, football for St. Kitts. What do you play in football?
What do I play?
What position?
I used to play midfield and strike.
Midfield and striker. So how much football does help, or how much does football help you on the cricket field?
I would say it helped most with my fitness. Being able to be out there for long and running between the wickets. Same thing when I was playing football, being out there playing 90 minutes.
Really well done today. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Well done. Jazar Claxton. And the other player who we're going to recognize, this young lady is all of 15 years old. 2 overs, no maidens, 3 for 10. Javi Patak, come on up.
Congratulations. Here you go.
You're not sure where to look, are you? Javi, correct me if I'm wrong, you're 15 years old?
Yes, I am.
Javi, not many 15-year-olds get to play at such a high level. What are your thoughts coming into playing in this tournament?
I think it's really amazing, like overall, and also to see how many people supported me throughout my journey and helped me along it. Really like shaped me to where I am right now. So without them, I wouldn't be here.
I would say in looking at you bowl, you have much more control over line and length than some 25-year-olds, let alone 15-year-olds. How far do you think your cricket can take you?
I hope further. Again, like I said, it's just in practice and just practicing a lot more to get where I want to go.
Really, really well done and proud of you. Well done.
Thank you so much.
Javi Patak. So, let's call forward the captain of the team that finished second on the day, Anika Kolan. So in my mind, bowling first, your sort of default is to bowl first, is it not?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it just comes off. Today is just a day that it didn't in the second innings, but in the second game, but in the first game it did come off pretty well. So it's just one of those things that you never know. But I'm just really proud of how my team went out there.
Looking to chase down a pretty big total, the biggest total in the tournament so far. How much did it hurt to not have Kiana Joseph at the top of the order?
Yeah, we definitely missed her presence there. We were talking about how this is definitely a game where Kiana would definitely go and kill it out there. And unfortunate that she is just a bit under the weather, but definitely hoping that she comes out stronger for our next game.
And then speaking about the next game, you're playing again tomorrow morning, if I'm not mistaken, against the Bellevue Blazers. What is your mentality, having absorbed a relatively tough defeat? Do you shake it off and come back the next morning?
Yeah, definitely shake it off and come back stronger. I mean, every day is a new day, especially with cricket. And it's also good that we had that first win against Bellevue Blazers already. So just picking off of that momentum and just trying to see how well we can go out there, and obviously backing every single one of our players and support staff all the way.
Excellent. Well done.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you, Annika. And now the captain, finally, of the team that finishes top on the day. Geeta Kukadali, your team looked exceptionally dominant today.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you. The girls came out there and we played with the intensity that we've always been wanting to play with. And I think what's amazing for me is to see that constant improvement game over game. We talked about wanting to score more runs with the bat. We're getting there 5 to 10 runs at a time every game. Hopefully we can give the viewers a 150, 160 scoring game soon. But apart from that, like, we had a strategic change where we had an extra spinner come in, and like JV did exceptional as a youngster. We had JC step up with the bat. It's also amazing to see that like we have different players stepping up each game. And so we really want to be that well-rounded team that plays well together.
You mentioned the spinners. You have a really good mix of spinners, not just off spinners and leg spinners, but a good mix of youth and experience. How well does that work for you?
I think it works really well for us. The coach did an excellent job picking his players and drafting that team with a good mix of knowledge and expertise, as well as potential and excitement.
All of a sudden, the scoop shot has become your favorite shot.
I think in a T20 game, it has come to like an era where we're all trying to be more innovative, and something like different things work for different players. I'm glad the scoop could come out today.
Really well done. Congratulations. Good luck the rest of the way. That, ladies and gentlemen, concludes the coverage for today. Tomorrow morning, right here at 11 a.m. Central Time, Pacific Standard Time, the Redmond Raptors against the Bellevue Blazers. Signing off for the evening. See you tomorrow morning. Up and over. That is a lovely shot by Nicardoshi. That is one of her favorite shots, and it gets around the wickets. Hammered away for 4 more. Oh my goodness. I like the opinion. Hammered away for 4. You cannot give any width to, first of all, any lefty. Clip just over the top of short mid wicket. Boy, it feels like Divya Saxena was in the... And again, another bit of expert batsmanship that goes away for gets 4 for it. Nicardoshi joins the hitting party. 4 more to backward square leg. That is banged away into the leg side, and it's going to be another boundary. We're deep. Banged into the leg side, but that's a good stoppage. Heights. Divya Saxena is after it. She'll get there and she'll take the... Well done, Mr. Sean Carey. Much. Oh, lovely. Any amount of width will be punished. That is... Pulled straight to mid-wicket. That is a really sharp catch by Cameron Desai. What a catch. Oh, in the air. Simple as you like. Oh, Marple Carr, what have you done? 38 for 4. What in the world is going on with the Seattle Orcas brass? 4 outside, 5 inside. That is slashed away. A lot of work for Divya Saxena, and she tries the football exact method.
Really.
Oh, it gets through.
And now all of a sudden it's a very different game. The spinners have found confidence.
That's true. That is a really good shot. And Jazar Claxton. Ooh, swept away around the leg side. Let's see if there was any.
But it all depends upon, as you very rightly said, Jazara Claxton. If she's around, that total, otherwise, even that total might seem to be a bit of a tall out of there.
Full toss, and it gets hammered away. Oh, palmed over the crossbar for 6. Watch the
It's just so great to see so many different levels, professionals.
Cutaway in the gap, and that's going to be 4.
Total.
Down the track, this is really well played. Pulled away.
Lovely shot.
There is absolutely no fielder there. This is
14-year-old, and they used the term, oh,
that's gone. Looking to come, gets it past the bowler. Up and over. And that is an absolute... Angling in. I think this would have been going down leg. That'll do. That'll do nicely. In fact, that's going to bring up another boundary.
Tell you what, low full toss.
The 18th over.
Oh!
That is a shot. That is some power on a switch hit. What? There's another switch hit. And she gets it very straight as well.
With Jessica Williams-Gamora.
Oh, she has Boulder.
Toenail, but I've certainly heard it.
Well, that's going to be yet another one. This is really well bowled, playing well. And finally, a run off the bat. It could be dicey. Direct hit, and that would have been curtains. Starts well, the captain Geetika Kodali, but it's also going to be the down the track. Beats the first fielder. Very well bowled. That's the first. Gone. Captain of USA taking on Captain of Canada. This is in the gap. 2 straight. Helped off the pads. Boulder. You could see that coming from miles away.
Expecting her to come in here.
Down the track, make that wicket number 3.
17 for 3. The Washington Waves, and they batted as this is lofted down the ground over the top of the fielder.
Hitters who can add some impetus. With that said, this is the pair who is potentially going to define how close they can get to the total.
Good work by Sandy Sood, but not able to get anything on it. Oh, you still need another 100, and that is lofted in the air, catchable to square leg, and a clean catch. Get that one. Oh, that is going to be very close.
That's a full toss. It might even be a no ball. And if the no ball's not called...
That is, to me, Harmeet Singh. Struck right back at the bowler. Another wicket down. The objective is less about looking to win.
That's going to be wicket number 7. It's through the game. They should be. Could have played that better. This is going to be runs. It's going to be 4 runs. Calls for catch. And it's going to go for 4 instead. Teenagers here. Leg side. Oh, what a catch that is! What an outstanding catch that is! Ritu Singh was looking for a boundary. She's looking for a maximum. Outside edge, just short of the fielder. This could be end. Oh dear. Needed to do better. I'm crediting him. That might be a no ball. Is it dipping enough? Oh, confusion. Trouble out in the middle. Just
really passionate about sports.
Oh, that would have been a great effort. That's going to be wicket number 9. Calls for catch it. Just gets it past the bowler. In the gap. It's well placed. It's going to run away for about... Leg side. Just one short bounce.
So skilled in so many different aspects.
This could be trouble. This could be trouble, and it absolutely is. That's going to round up the end of this game. They have been bowled out.